All right.
I'm just gonna mute and just tell them what I'm doing real quick. Hey guys, this is my Ask Me Anything for this politics server that I got invited to. So if you want to ask me something and you want it to be out loud and not in the comments where I might miss it, it is in the description, the Discord link and the event page, and you can come and they'll bring you up. And if I miss you, I'm sorry, and I'll try to reach out too. So let's go.
I'm just waiting.
All right.
Oh, my bad.
All right.
Here.
All right. Well, I'm live, so whatever happens now is on the internet forever. Oh, they all left me. Do I have to decide who comes up? What's going on?
No,
What
no,
the hell? What
no.
the hell just happened?
I didn't kick you, I promise.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have given me the perms though, because now I might. Alright guys, I don't know what's happening, but it's okay. If it didn't have tech issues, I wouldn't trust them. I'd say it's too coordinated.
What?
Alright, well, while I'm waiting.
Okay, so I'm here. For whatever reason, sometimes Discord VCs, if you press like mute on yourself, it will like detect you as like leaving or something.
Okay. Oh, and he did it. Real quick, because I see this chat. Why did you get so emotional and carry water for Hassan in the Cuba trip debate? I did not get emotional, and
Okay,
carrying water
someone
for
just kicked me.
Hassan
It just like kicked me. I
only
don't know
goes
who
so
that
far
is, who
as
that
I
was.
think the Trump admin's much scarier than Hassan right now. Not that Hassan is good, but I think everyone is reacting very poorly to that debate.
Yeah.
Hey, Tinfoil. Because the Sino-Spanish Empire pissed me off and Latvia is
Okay,
#1. That's
who
why. Thank you for
keeps
being a 60-month
kicking
member.
us?
Did you guys
I
give
am looking at
mod permissions to like the wrong person? I promise it's not me.
Yeah, I'm wondering that right now.
Just trolling you guys. You just keep getting kicked. I don't know why they haven't kicked me. I promise. Oh. Something's going on, guys. These guys are having some mod issues. They're getting trolled heavy right now. Like someone's kicking all of the speakers, someone's kicking me. But you guys can always have me, you know? You guys have me forever. What's my favorite slur? It's a good question. I don't know, bitch is pretty good. Bitch is a good slur. My favorite dinosaur? It's a Leoplerodon, but everyone says it's not a dinosaur. Is this open book? Yeah, you can ask whatever you want. Hey, Hanko. Bah! What are you doing in my chat, boy? I got banned by a Discord mod. I don't know if I've been banned, but I'm definitely not on stage right now. Let's see if they
I
can
don't
figure
know
out what's going on.
what.
What's my opinion on Dean? Dean's a cool guy, but I think he's a little too soy. Look at this. They're kicking the mods. All right, well, I'll turn on my webcam for now, can I? No, I can't. Yeah, they kicked me. I don't know what's going on. This is the AMA of the century. I guess this is what happens when I remember clicking on this server and seeing there was just like 8 million people in it. I'm like, there's no way this is gonna like not be completely like chaotic. I don't know the extent to which of I'm gonna get Marxists and neo Nazis and Groypers, and it's just gonna be everything. What do I think of your friend Juan? He's Juan, cool guy. Oh, they're just kicking everyone out of the audience now. What's going on? Oh, no, I got kicked out of the audience. This is something else. This is Hey, this guy's got Baron the Broat. I love him. What's my opinion on soy sauce? I actually don't love soy sauce. I like teriyaki though. Since this is an AMA, can I ask why you keep kicking everyone? Hey, Owlishness. I'm not kicking anyone, so. Which conservative is the easiest to debate? Of everyone I've debated so far, Michael Knowles is a total pushover. So, definitely him. Trust me, the server has all types of people. Well, yeah. Do you see Kyle Rittenhouse is trying to get into debate? He's doing some stuff with Cam Higby. That'll be fun. What is going on? They just keep kicking me. This reminds me of the time a neo-Nazi managed to become a mod in the modern day debate server. Why are you like I wanted to read that in like the Peter Griffin voice. Like, hey, that reminds me of the time there was a neo-Nazi. This is funny. The event is getting griefed. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You should just get a one-on-one with random chatter's Discord handle. Yeah, that won't be a fucking chaotic mess at all. Am I going to DebateCon? Absolutely not. That sounds fucking boring as shit. Someone is abusing perms, according to the mods speaking to me now. So, well, I don't know how they fix this. I don't know how you find out who's doing it. I just keep getting kicked. Oh well, that's something. Let's see. What's going on with you guys though? Where can I ask questions in the server? Well, apparently nowhere right now. DebateCon sucks, yeah. Anyone who makes debate like a primary form of their like personality, I'm not gonna like them. Link the mod team is very curated. Yeah, I guess not. If you mod me, I'll fix it. When's next Live and Learn? It's supposed to be every Monday. We took this Monday off because 2 people were traveling, but it'll be next Monday. Doobie is making the call. No soy. What does that mean? Michael Knowles' debate with Mehdi Hassan reminds me of why Dems should pack every court and bar any Trump Republican from office. Hell yeah. Do I like Brazil? Never been. What's my favorite bird? Ooh, probably pigeon. I love pigeons. All right, come on, let me in.
Lordy Lord.
I love you.
The one
That's
thing
not a
you check.
question.
Yo, does people really hate me so much that like they want to like disturb my events? Jesus.
Where's the motorized propeller hat? Haven't bought one yet.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. The person
Who's
no
my
longer has
TF2
perms
main?
now,
Obviously,
so
it's fucking Spy. Have you seen any of
yeah,
my
they're,
streams?
like seconds of
It's my
fame.
least favorite video game weapon.
Who
Ooh,
was it
I
that
don't
was
know.
like doing this?
I just invited. Could someone
Yeah,
move him
we're
onto
not-
the stage, please?
Yeah. Let's see.
Franny, if I could give you $1, I'd give you $1.
Big apologies for that, guys. It was just a bit of a tech issue.
Yep. All right.
Looks like they fixed it.
All right. Let's move him up.
Get me in there. Put me in, coach. I'm ready. I've been answering questions from chat. Don't make me read.
Move on to stage.
Can you give the chat an enter? I don't know. Chat can give me an enter because apparently it's still my dono sound. I haven't changed it yet. I haven't streamed in a while. I'm probably going to start streaming a lot more, guys. I'm ramping it up. We're going to be streaming 2 to 3 times a week, if not more. Do I believe in God?
So do you just want to
Absolutely not.
re-request to put that
Oh,
through?
all
I'm
right.
do that
I'm
for you.
going to re-request.
No, sorry.
There we
Let me see
go.
if I can- Let me see if I can find them. There. Sorry.
Soy news 5 times a week. Ooh, that'd be a lot.
Did I not just press it? What the hell?
What are your thoughts on
Soy
Shoycott
Call,
spending
yeah,
50
you
million to
can,
get 10
join
votes?
if
I
you-
mean, he can spend as much as he wants. He just
You may
wasn't as
have the
popular.
perms to come up on stage yourself, actually.
Oh,
No, I just okay.
no, I do. I still have them. What's up?
Okay.
When was it?
All right.
All right.
So,
So
sorry.
what was going on? Do you guys have an evil mod?
We had some shenanigans by a low level troglodyte that
Gotcha.
no longer has the perms to do this again.
It's all right. It was a fun time.
Indeed.
Christ.
All right. Now we can actually start properly.
Sounds good.
1 second.
All right.
I forgot.
So would you like to tell the people of politics a bit of who you are?
Sure. I'm the Soy Pill. I make video
Left again.
essays. Oh, someone kicked me.
Well, I'll
Is it-
just start. Hello, everyone. My name's Q, and I am the event host, organizer, whatever you like to call it, of the Soy Pill AMA. I'm the one that got the Soy Pill onto the server and to agree to do this event here. It's been 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of planning, and we're all really excited, and this is my first time hosting a big event. So, Soy Pill, do you want to tell everyone a bit about who you are before we start for real this time, without someone abusing perms?
Yeah, sure. I'm the Soy Pill. I make video essays. I stream sometimes. I'm progressive, and I like being like doing research stuff and making dumb jokes and trying to make the world a more equitable, progressive-y place. So come shit on me, I guess, for being a big fucking soy boy.
That's great. So let's just start with the questions. Let me just go through them here.
Yeah.
Bottom to top on those.
Okay, I think we'll start with this one here from Squilliam. Hey, Soypill, chat here. What inspired you to become political?
That's a big question. I guess basically you walk around and you see that everyone doesn't have life as good as you do growing up. I had a pretty privileged upbringing, and I thought that was horrible and unfair. And I thought there was definitely ways to manage things in such a way that makes it more equitable. And you learn about all these problems like climate change and wars, and you're like, why aren't these being stopped? And you really want to do something about it. So it's seeing all the injustice in the world and the inequity and wanting to solve that, I guess. Call me idealistic, but I think we can solve war. My community is going to do it. We're going to be the ones.
That's pretty straightforward. So I think I'll just ask the question here because I think a lot of people want to know. So why did you name yourself the Soy Pill, and where does the whole brand thing with the spinning wheel on the hat come from?
Yeah, the soy pill came from everyone, doing like the pill thing back in like 2018, 2017. It was like, oh, like I'm black pilled, I'm blue pilled, I'm red pilled. And then a combination of that and how libs were called soys and cucks and all that. So there was a lot of like cuck jokes, I think, in like my first couple videos because I really wanted to play into that stereotype. But that's really fallen to the wayside. So I've definitely outlived the soy boy derogatory pejorative. So now it's a lot more confusing. The hat, I had this hat because my ex bought it for me for a costume that I was doing for some con, and I just kept wearing it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep wearing it. It's kind of funny. So yeah, now it's part of the brand, but it didn't start out that way.
I mean, all great brands start out small and add stuff later on.
Yeah, it kept me warm in the Washington D.C. inauguration cold. I really needed like some sort of headwear because it was freezing. I had to put those little heater bags in my toes.
By the way, you can hear me, correct? I just wanted to make sure for one final time.
Yeah, I've been responding to
Okay.
you.
Yeah, but my mic sometimes likes to not be cooperative.
Okay.
So I just want to be absolutely sure.
Yeah. You got a great
So-
voice. My chat says you should do audiobooks and get a pop filter.
Yeah, a lot of people say I should do that kind of stuff. I'm actually going to do an audiobook for a novel when I've written it, but that's beside the point. From this guy called Russian Defender, who has an anime PvP, so better get ready here for
Oh
this
no,
question.
I've never seen one of those before.
No. Why are you, as in the letter U, a authority on Israel/Palestine?
I'm not. Good question. I don't know why anyone would think I am. I don't know much about it. Although I have read a book, which puts me above like 99% of the population, but I'm definitely not an authority.
That's fair. Okay. Let me see if I can find a VC question because I don't want
Yeah,
to
get 'em
take
in
away
here.
everyone's. Yeah, but I need to see what it is here. What do you think? Okay. Let me see if I can find them here.
Lying about that book? Why do you think I'm lying? I can show you on my phone if you think I'm lying. Check this
That's
out.
weird.
I've actually been rereading it as
Okay.
of late. Joe Biden recommended it.
By the way, guys, if you actually also want to get on stage to ask this
Wait, I
question,
gotta make sure
with
there's no
the
personal
VC
information on this.
specification, you need to also make sure to
There's not personal information.
raise
Yeah,
your
see?
hand.
Look at that. Reading it.
But
No,
we'll just
so-
go with this. What?
No,
Just
no, no,
immediately
go
skip
ahead.
them if they don't pull up their hand. You just call out the user. If they don't pull up, next question.
Yeah. That's just what I want to say. So we'll go with someone called Coral. Do you support niche but serious political ideas such as neo-libertarian?
Uh,
All
I try to. Oh, go ahead.
Fallingist?
There's more.
Fallingist? I don't know what that is. What were we saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, niche political ideas are usually like I find to be a waste of time unless I think they can gain traction and do something good. Like, there's like the whole Georgian movement and their like land value tax, and I'll mention it every once in a while, but like unless that started getting big traction in Congress, like, yeah, it's kind of responsibility of people to like spread those sorts of ideas. But if it's really small, it's sometimes just like, ah, that's cool. Like, I hope it works out, buddy. But I'm not going to dedicate my whole life's project to talking about it.
Would
Okay.
we
So
want to
I
bring in
think
a voice? Yeah,
I
voice.
think I think in just of like instead of just like looking for VC questions in the text chat, I'm just gonna pull someone random up here. So
Yeah, let's do it.
real quick, someone called Geo wants to join. Not gonna be allowed to.
Why? Are there
You
bad?
don't. You don't.
We can
you
bring
don't
up
want-
we can bring up
you don't want-
Dirty.
You can bring up anyone. I don't mind. Bring them up here.
Yeah,
Well, no.
we'll just kind of
We'll
Okay,
go.
all right.
We'll go with the school bus. School bus, come up here. So, what is your question for the soy pill?
Yeah, so my question, thank you for coming through first off. I appreciate you dedicating your time to come into our server. Definitely an honor. My question to you is how much do you put like focus on in terms of what is like evolutionarily adaptive for a civilization? I understand, like I was watching a couple of your videos while I was waiting, and I seen that, you kind of play this like left and right game, and I understand like you make a lot of valid points about the right, and I agree with a lot of them, but um, I think that in the middle there is a level of okay, what is actually best for society, and how do we keep our civilization growing and functional?
I think that no matter how much credence I'll give to the right to try to say, hey, I understand what you're saying, almost every one of their ideas is fucking terrible. And so there is no like in the middle. It's like everything center left and past that is what's best for society and making it go to the future. I think we are dragging everyone centered to the right, kicking and screaming into reality constantly. And the only function they serve is maybe stopping too far left people from doing radical things too quickly that might be bad. But otherwise, the world would be a better place if there were no right wingers saying all the stupid shit that made our country worse.
I'm only allowed to ask one question, right? So.
I mean,
Well, if you got a follow-up.
Yeah.
If you have something follow up, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
if you
mean,
want-
you.
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Yeah. No, I mean, you again, with all due respect, you alluded again to like the left and the right, but I guess the question I'm really trying to ask you is what like how would you structure a civilization, and not on like a complete foundational level. I'm just talking about like in the things that you talk about in your videos. Like I said, I seen your critiques of the right, and I agree with a lot of the things that you did say about them. But in terms of a lot of these things, do you not see that sometimes what the right and the left is proposing might be bad ideas? But I guess the question is what would be your
What's ideal? I mean, yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
say like if I were to build society from ground up, what I'd exactly do. I just kind of look at the countries that are doing way better than us, and almost all of them are just more left wing than us in lots of different ways. So most, Western European countries, the Nordic models, I'm like, yeah, that's all great, and maybe it's not even like ideal enough. We could go even further than that, but like we're so far off that like that's what I think America should strive toward now. And if I was on an island with 50,000 people and you asked me to rebuild society, I would have no idea how to do it, but it would probably end up being something akin to some social welfare state. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I was literally just about to ask you for clarification. So you're talking about kind of like a merging between the capitalistic and social, socialistic kind of setup in terms of economy.
Yeah.
And I can.
I just took one of those
definitely
political
agree.
quizzes a week ago, and it said I'm a social democrat. So
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Hmm,
Yeah, no,
interesting.
thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
thank you.
okay.
Hey,
So it's
Coco.
Judy time. What is your question?
30.
What's up, Silly Pill?
Hey, what's up?
I think I've seen you in passing in the past, like on YouTube and such. And so I'm sitting here listening, and would you say that you're basically against GOP policies and like Republican candidates, like most of their points? And
Yeah, pretty much like by default, I'm going to oppose them unless they have some like particularly good bill or thing that is an exception. But otherwise, yeah, I think the Republican Party today is filled with ghoulish, disgusting, evil, heartless people, and it sucks. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm working on my Woke 2.0 video. It's coming out tonight for members. Plug. So I'm in a particularly mad mood.
Yeah, this might be a good question for you then. So, like, do you eat animal products?
I do. I'm going vegan this year, though.
Oh, well then, okay, then maybe this will just be more like awareness. Like, so when you buy animal products, like every dollar you spend indirectly funds Republican nominees. So I was just, if you were going vegan this year, then that solves that problem.
That I've never heard that argument for pro-vegan, but my next video is on veganism. I'll bring that up. I was like, if there's no other reason for you to go vegan, just do it to say fuck Republicans. That's a good one. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, you can look at like the indirect ways that it funds it, like a lot of like it's kind of funny because there's like, if you look at the Republican senators and like Congress people, a lot of them come from dairy farms, and it's all very, industry corruption bullshit. But okay, that's I think that's my question.
Yeah, thanks. You just made it into the next vid. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're famous on YouTube.
Well, I'm not going to credit you. Actually, I should credit you. I'll put you in the credits.
No, it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's all of our ideas.
I'm going to pull you two down now.
Yeah, go vegan over Ogre Boy. Do it. It's not going to be an arc, Bill Steins. It's just going to be who I am. But I'm not going to do gear.
Sorry, I needed to respond to a DM. Again, first time to be
Could I ask a question from a user?
Okay, wait, who?
Okay, I'm Weeaboo Trash is asking you, would you debate Nick Fuentes?
About what? Like it's these intractable people who come in to just like spout off their Nazi talking points. It's kind of feels like a waste of time. I've like debated Groypers and neo-Nazis in the past, and like the more I've done it, the more I really, like just feel like I'm just totally wasting my time. One, because these people aren't like in the Overton window as much as they're gaining traction in the second Trump admin. They're still not the people that are necessarily winning office yet. And so it's like, why am I even giving any credence to this at this point? Maybe you could say it's nipping it in the bud, but like so many people did this from like 2015 onwards, and I don't, did it get rid of them? Did it make them look stupid? Yeah, sure, and you should make them look stupid when you have to, but like if you have the choice to just like ignore these people and shove them away, I think that's better. That said, Nick Fuentes is way bigger than me, so if he was like, come debate me, Shoy Pill, or whatever the fuck, then like, yeah, I guess, but like about what? Like where would that go? I'd just be trying to dunk on him, and he'd just be trying to dunk on me. It would probably be a big waste of time.
Who has done some research into Nick Fuentes, the worst thing you can do for yourself if you have a career is to get involved with Nick Fuentes. There's just something about him that, like, if you get involved with him in any way, it's like a career ender for you. It's like a curse.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that to Doobie though.
Is Doobie a Groyper?
Yeah,
no, it just didn't go very well for the server last time. When Nick Fuentes arrived here on his little spaceship, it didn't go that great.
I think actually he's actually now he's like involved in like the Destiny drama, but I won't go into details there because I don't care about
yeah, I've heard some ruminations. I've seen random things pop up in my timeline, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah,
get this off get the slop off my slop feed.
All I'm saying here is like if someone wrote a whole book series about this server and its lore, someone would sell millions. Just saying. So I'm going to give you a question, and it's from a minor, so be ready.
Like a person who's less than 18, or like a worker in the coal mine.
A minor, like as in under 18.
Okay.
Should freedom of speech include hate speech? Also, grotesque, I pinged you. That one can be unpinned or whatever. I don't know how to do this.
Should freedom of speech include hate speech? Yes, unless the hate speech is to a degree that it's infringing on other people's rights, and I think there's some countries that have made arguments that I'm sympathetic to, like Germany just draws the hard line at like Nazi stuff, and that's technically not, you know, doing anything in terms of like literally hurting people, but they've made salient arguments as to how like, hey, if you're still in this ideology, you're tacitly like endorsing all the violence that comes along with it, and we have just banned this outright because we have a history with it. And I don't know, that's like a really scary line, and I don't know if I would trust America to have these sorts of lines. So in America, I'd probably say, no, just let hate speech go. But if you look at some of these like court cases where it's like, hey, is burning a cross hate speech, or can it be interpreted as a threat? I think the way we handle it now is probably fine. And usually the people who are saying hate speech is free speech are just the people who want to be really hateful. And if I look to the people who are enforcing this in an equitable and reasonable way, it's usually the ACLU, where they'll be like, yeah, like we're going to protest, or we're going to lobby to let the KKK do their march, or to let the neo-Nazis have their little rally here. Because even if we hate them and we disagree with them, like what they're doing is still protected speech. So as long as we have like good guidelines on that, I'm usually okay with it. And when people make these like absolutist statements like, no, you can't do this, or speech is violence, or everything has to be allowed, like I just don't think that's ever going to work out that way. You got to be a little more nuanced.
That's great. So I'm going to bring someone up here who is a guest room owner, and we have this thing called guest rooms where people can have their own guest room and be mods there, as long as they follow TOS and don't infringe on like the server's TOS and log rules. And he is like the guest room owner of this room called MAGA Republic.
Oh, good.
So let's just see like how this can go. Don't worry, it won't take hours or whatever.
No, it's probably make my
I'll
head
just
hurt.
give him like some time here. Yeah, well, hey, we need to make it a little bit spicy here.
Fix the pin thing for you, by the way. You can pin and unpin now.
Oh, what a profile picture too. Look at that.
What's going on, Mr. Soy?
Hey, nice Homelander MAGA profile picture, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, thank you. Nice prepubescent boy hat. Hey, I wanted to ask you your opinion on the Iran war. Do you think that President Trump is doing the right thing by preventing enemies of America, terrorists, honest-to-God terrorist regimes, from acquiring a nuclear weapon?
Oh, God. I think he's handled this really poorly. I mean, I don't know if we actually had proof that Iran was 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. They've been saying that for years. I think he's completely fumbled the Strait of Hormuz. He's causing gas prices to go up. He's declared victory 700,000 times and had to walk it all back. He's talking about ceasefires and peace deals, and he violates them. He's capitulating to Israel when they say, no, you're not allowed to do it that way, or actually, you have to go attack preemptively because we're about to attack. I think it's showing how weak and terrible and inept he is, and he's a fucking moron. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So let me ask you something. So do we acknowledge the fact that Iran has had the ability to close the Strait of Hormuz?
Do we acknowledge that they have the ability to do it? Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And with that being said, you would agree that it would be a lot harder for the United States to be able to open the Strait of Hormuz back up, or prevent economic blackmail by the honest-to-God terrorist regime in Tehran if they had a nuclear weapon?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Now, in 2019, a report came out from the IAEA showing that Iran was enriched up to 60% in uranium-235 isotope, which, by the way, the uranium-235 isotope in combination with plutonium is what creates a nuclear bomb. They have an ICBM that can go up to 2,000 miles, as we saw when they launched an attack on one of our bases far, far south in the Indian Ocean. And we also know that in 2024, when asked directly, the foreign minister of Iran said, of course, we're building a nuclear weapon. These people that you're talking about, right? These aren't people that are just seeking a nuclear weapon for self-defense. And as far as the claim goes that they've been 2 weeks away for years, look, Mossad can say what they want to say. But when we have boots on the ground going into these facilities like Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow, we understand that Iran had in these centrifuges the material to create a nuclear weapon in 2019 and 24. The motive.
Okay, do you got a point, or are you giving me your lecture on it? Like, are you upset that the JCPOA like got thrown out, or do you think that was horrible? Like, do you think we just should have been invading them for 20 years? Like, what do you want to talk about here? Are you just gonna give me your whole like Iran video essay?
I'm disputing your claim. I'm disputing your claim.
Okay.
You've made false claims. It's just that simple.
All right.
And so I would ask you, why do you want, if you acknowledge that Iran has the ability to do economic blackmail, why do you want the Iranians to acquire a nuclear weapon? Don't you believe that?
Did I say that I want them to have a nuclear weapon? That's weird because I don't remember saying that. Maybe you're talking to someone else.
Okay, so then
I
you
just
agree with the
want
war,
to-
do you not? You
No,
agree with
I
the
don't.
war?
I don't think this war is
Like,
necessarily
you know,
doing
like,
that. I
you-
think we had a very good way of preventing them from doing a nuclear weapon, and that was the deal that Obama made, and then Trump threw it out, and now he's trying to negotiate terms that aren't even as good as that deal. So he's kind of fumbled it completely, and maybe they'll get a nuke anyway. It's not seeming like we're preventing
If
them
the
in any
JCPOA
capacity.
was so great, how did they get uranium-235 in 2019?
If-
That means they still had it. They were hiding it, and then when we pulled out the deal and did the final inspection, they still had it. You don't just enrich
I'm not
to
sure to the degree
60%
that's
in less
even
than a year.
true. I didn't prepare and look up all the details on what kind of uranium them had at what specific point. My understanding was we had a pretty good deal insofar as like having constant check-ins with them, and they hadn't been enriching to the point where we needed to throw the deal out. Trump just threw it out because he said, "Oh, we gave them money and it was bad," because he's a fucking moron, and now he's trying to negotiate the same deal. So
Oh no, he's not trying to negotiate the same deal. Our
true,
president,
we're not getting the same actual deal. It's like half as much as we had asked for in that, which was actually
yeah,
a
I'll
much
tell
better
you what the
option.
deal's going to be. The deal's going to be unconditional surrender of the Iranian regime.
Yeah, do you think they're going to do that?
The total
How many times has he
defenestration
declared
of the
that?
terrorist
What?
regime
How
inside
do you feel
Iran.
supporting a guy who has just lied to you for the past like week, every week for the past few months, saying
Goalpost,
it's
goalpost,
over, it's
goalpost.
over, it's over, it's over? Well, I don't know. You're just like
Goalpost.
bringing up random shit. I'm just curious why you don't care.
I'm
about
not bringing
that.
up random shit. I'm being very concise, and I'm retorting to the things that you're saying.
Right,
it seems
right.
like you're getting
Well,
a little
you're
flustered
com-
right now because
Well,
you
you're
know
coming
exactly
in.
what
You're
I'm saying
coming.
is
You're
true.
coming in to specifically have a debate about a thing, and I'm like, cool. You can ask me anything, but I just find it curious that you're so willing to like suck Trump's dick. But every single time he lies about this Iran war, he lies about a deal, he lies about the Strait of Hormuz. He makes a promise that doesn't fall through. Do you not
Yeah,
question that,
yeah.
or you're just like, oh, it's
How
just
about the
business,
lies
or
that
what?
Obama told you? How about the lies that Obama told you when he said that giving the Iranian regime money would stop them from seeking a nuclear weapon? If that was the case, why didn't they completely dismantle Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow? They weren't seeking power plants like they told us. We're going to be green. We're going to be green just
Wait,
like
so
the
I'm,
West.
I'm trying to put
It only
together some of the
takes- it only
facts you
takes
gave me. But you said in
3% to
2019,
5%.
you said they had the 235 in 2019. Wasn't this after Trump threw
Correct.
out the deal?
60%, and you can enrich up to 60%.
Was that after
timeframe.
Trump threw out the deal or no?
This was a short period of time afterwards, and which means they were enriching before Trump even pulled out the deal.
Okay, but maybe they knew he was going to pull out because he kept talking about it constantly, and he won in 2016.
Well, they
right?
were violating them. They were violating.
Violating the deal they knew he was going to violate by getting rid of it, right?
And by the way, just so you know, it only takes 3 to 5% enrichment for nuclear power plants. And also, too, why would a country as oil rich as Iran ever need to have nuclear power in the first place?
I don't know.
Explain that.
So a country like America doesn't unilaterally bomb them like we do every other country that doesn't have a nuke?
Oh, so you want to protect Iran? You're in defense of Iran.
I think I'm a lot more sympathetic to countries acquiring nuclear weapons who want to use it as a mutually assured destruction, saying "Don't fuck with us," but that doesn't mean I want them to have one.
Very good. You just said out of your mouth that you support a nuclear North Korea in the Middle East.
That's not what I said, but
Re-
okay.
Okay, we're gonna go on to
Okay,
the
so
next
we're
person
done,
now.
we're done,
That's
we're
sad.
done.
I wish that guy was better at listening. Maybe he'd hear Trump lie to him
But then
every
I
single
like-
fucking day.
I like crazy stuff in Overflash about like if it's just going to be that for like the next hours. No. We need
Yeah.
to let other people-
Okay,
But-
maybe a
but
text
maybe-
question.
Yeah. So yeah, let me just see if I can find one here.
Okay, I know I see one. All right, this comes from Squillian Fancyson. Hey, sorry, Chad here. What inspired you to become political?
You already,
we already asked that
you
one.
already answered.
Oh, whoops, there we go. Okay.
But I'm going to change my answer like the Joker.
Maybe I-
It was that guy. That guy inspired my whole political project.
oh,
and that's
okay.
why every single dollar I get is because of how stupid he was.
Oh, actually, true.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I have from one called Meal. So, are you a Marxist? What do you think about critiques of Marxism as an unspecific theory? Oh, sorry, my accent. Thinking about it being falsifiable.
I'm not a Marxist. I've read the Communist Manifesto. None of it resonated with me insofar as I think it's applicable to current society. I know Marxists. I'm friends with some, and they've kind of explained why they are, but it's like seems like one of those things where like, okay, like you have this idealistic view of how society could look. We're nowhere close to that, and this seems like a useless thing to express at the moment. I could be sympathetic to, if you showed me, hey, Marxism is when we have a big Star Trek post-scarcity society that has utopia and no resources or money and it's perfect. Okay, cool. Let's get to like the Nordic model, which is actually viable, and then you can start talking to me about Marxism when I'm like 80 and it's even on the table. But yeah, so far haven't been impressed.
Okay, so this is a long one, so bear with me. If democracy fundamentally depends on the narrative self, citizens who care about justice, identity, shared stories, and moral values, what remains of it when those active, value driven individuals are replaced by operatives who are optimized solely for efficient, frictionless output and personal productivity? Oh, wait, it's a VC question. Let me just see if I can find it.
Yeah, please, because you already lost me.
Jeez, man. You gotta get this guy to actually like tell us out.
Yeah, well, let me just see if I can find him, but he's not raised his hand.
Okay. Let's get ChatGPT in the VC real quick.
Let me see if I can ping him here.
Well, Soy Pill, someone did ask just quickly why you look so sweaty. What's the situation?
The
though?
current room that I am in, which I moved to in November, is not very good ventilation. I have like a door. It's a kind of, and it's attached to a sunroom, which turns it into a greenhouse. So inevitably, when I have two stage lights and this light and a computer and camera running, it just gets super fucking hot in here. And it's the hot month, and I live in California. So trying to rectify this in the near future, but the current moment it is an issue. I get sweaty.
Okay, I'm waiting for this guy with a really long question to raise his hand. Okay.
Yeah, I should just buy a
You
fucking
should
fan.
use
I
it.
don't know why I haven't done that yet.
He should have raised it. Okay, here it is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. You'll see why. Come on, you can join.
That's this guy with a freaking million questions.
Hello?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing well. That's your one question. No, kick him. No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, that was just a question I had for you, really.
Really? Now you can ask anything. I guess that is anything. Fair enough.
Really? Anything.
Well, that's the second question. We can keep going though. These are really short and easy.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. Anyways, it was nice talking to you, I guess.
Nice to meet you. I wish I could say your name, but I can't. But thanks for coming up.
Oh, it's Jimson Weed.
Okay. Thank you, Jimson Weed.
Okay. I'm just going to pull someone random up here. Then I'll try to find a good question. Text question here. But let's go with Lazy Ideological.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, lazy ideological genius?
Hey, why do you run defense for Hasten Baker?
In what capacity? Because I also shit on him a lot, so.
Yeah, but why do you think he should be part of the coalition?
It depends on what you mean by coalition. If this guy is going to promote Democrats that I'm okay with being promoted, like, for example, if he's going to campaign for Bernie Sanders, I think we should let him do that. I don't think that's dangerous. He has a huge platform. I think that's useful. If he's going to get thousands of people to go and canvass and vote for a candidate that I think is a good candidate, I'm all for it.
Are you not worried about him eventually splitting the vote between the people that you would support other than the people he's currently supporting?
He's already doing that. He drives voter apathy and does all this shit I really hate. So if I can also get him to do a good thing, I'd prefer that than just saying, well, we can just say he's gone and he's not in the 10 and we don't want his help. And it's like, okay, well, he's already doing the bad thing either way. If you think he has more leverage to pivot and do that bad thing if you let him promote your candidate, maybe. I just don't think that's the case. So
I mean, if he's already doing the bad things that you think are probably going to be worse in the future, I'm not sure why you would like allow him to probably get like bigger in the party in and of itself.
what power do I have to stop him from getting bigger in the party?
I mean, you can disavow things that he does.
I do that.
Okay, can you disavow him unilaterally? Probably say
Okay.
he shouldn't be part of the tent.
All right. What does that do?
It gets the people that listen to you to not want him to be part of the tent.
Okay. Well, what does part of the tent mean? Again, if I want him to
Part of the
canvass
Democratic
for
apparatus.
Democrats, you can't be mad at him for not canvassing for the Democrats, which I think would have helped win in 2024. But then be like, also you know, drive voter disaffectation, which he does. One of these things is bad. One of these things is good. I'd rather him also do the good thing. Why would I like throw that off the table?
Because the Democrats that he canvasses for are ruinous to the party, and it's probably better if he doesn't canvass for them at all.
I think some of them aren't good and some of them are good. He supports people I like. He supports people I really don't like. But again, if this person already has the audience and he's already huge, why would I not want that to be used to my advantage?
Because it's not going to be it's not used to your advantage, it's used to your disadvantage, just insidiously. Like, for example, if you like start supporting more people like, what's that guy's name? Abdullah Sayed or say Zohar Mamdani and that sort of thing. It's probably bad if that becomes the mainstream type of Democrat.
I like
right?
Mamdani. Al Sayed, I'm more amicable. I have to look at between him and McMorrow, but I like him too. So that's not
Listen,
an issue
you
for
can
me.
like them. I mean, you can like them, but I'm just saying it's probably bad if that becomes the mainstream type of Democrat.
I don't know if that's true. I like a lot of the more progressive policies. But if you don't like progressive policies, then yeah, I think it totally makes sense that if he's only going to promote progressives, which I still think is good in my opinion, but you don't like progressives, then yeah, you should just say I disavow everything he does. But I don't disavow literally everything he does. So
you're an enemy. Good to know.
I guess so.
That's all. Good luck. Actually, bad luck. Fuck you.
Oh God, got him. Thanks, buddy.
So, Soypill, I already asked you in the DM, but like, this Rico guy really, really like didn't like that I cut you off. So, like, I just want to ask you, like, personally, right now, do you want to do an event in the future where you debate this Rico guy? There, you can prepare.
Yeah, if he wants to have like an
debate
Iran
ready.
war debate, sure, I could like prep for it and really talk about it. But I don't want to have like a 30-minute debate where I haven't read up on Iran stuff in weeks, just out of the blue.
So, but you're willing to like somewhere in the future that like you could come back here and do a debate event
sure.
with him here. Okay, we'll sort that out when this thing here is over. So, you got your thing, Rico. Okay. Let me just see if I can find someone here.
Maybe
Okay.
a text.
So no, I promised Doobie that I'll let the devil in here. But hey,
Oh
I
yes,
just
the
want to say,
devil.
I just want to say, whatever happens because of this, it's not my fault.
Wait, who's the
I'm
devil?
gonna have to pull my Bible out.
Bro, you say this like I'm gonna break TOS, bro. We all know I'm not a TOS breaker. I follow the rules.
This
Don't
guy's
worry.
the devil. Look at his profile. He's got a cute little dog.
Literally.
So like Gio, why is it that like you've been 17 for 3 years? Anyway, ask your question.
Okay.
Very funny, very funny. Anyway, so Soy Pill.
What's up?
I have a few questions. So the first question is very brief. Yes or no? And the question is, are you actually sweating because you were terrified of me joining this call? Is that the real?
No,
that's the
I
real
already
question?
gave the answer. It was because it's so hot in this room, but I don't know who you are.
You live in the United States. Trust me. You have AC. We all know it's not hot in that room. You're terrified of me.
I don't have AC.
Let's move on though. It's okay. It's fine. So many people are terrified of me. You included.
Okay.
But my second question is, you have 3 topics to choose from, and I'm curious. Whatever you're most helpful. Whatever.
Okay.
Oops! I accidentally, when I was clicking on his profile, to unmute him.
You could get him to ask
Right.
one on his
Okay.
topic. I don't mind. I don't know what that
Sure, it's
was,
okay,
but
come
if he
back.
has a good
Wasn't-
question, like
Yo, why'd I get kicked off, bro? Don't do that. That's
It
fucked
was a
up.
little slip
well,
of the thumb. It's
I don't know if you
okay.
saw when my hands go down, I'm DMing them
Sorry,
to tell
guys,
them
sorry,
that I'm
guys,
really
like,
scared.
I
so that
accidentally
they'll
muted
get-
we can let
Did
him.
you
We can let him ask. We can let him ask like one question.
Yeah, you can
It's
ask a question. It's fine.
We'll let him ask
Come
one
on,
question.
let him have.
Yo,
a
stop
little
kicking me
chat.
off, bro. It's not nice.
Sorry, I
But it's
clicked accidentally.
Okay,
We'll let
yo,
him
I was just, I don't want to like jump you. That's why I want to give you options, choice. That's all. That's
Sure.
what being a liberal's about, choice. Freedom to
Okay.
do what you want.
All right.
So, of the 3 topics, which one are you most heartfelt about? Trump, veganism, or Israel?
I think Trump's more important, but I'm probably more heartfelt about veganism. That's just like I feel like there are no
Perfect.
good arguments against it.
Okay, so I'm curious about veganism. You said you're turning veganism, or you're turning vegan this year.
Yeah.
Will you be participating in actually purchasing veganic farmed food, or no?
What is veganic farmed food? I've never heard of this.
Okay, so hold on, just a quick question. What is your like definition of veganism?
Not eating or consuming animals or animal products.
Right, would that include byproducts as well?
I'm not sure. Do you mean like if it's like horse hooves and stuff for gelatin, or
So anything
cloth,
that's
like,
shit as
cotton?
well.
Huh?
Like shit.
Shit's probably fine depending on how that's accessed. I guess if you're abusing animals and they get the shit from the factory farm, then I guess not.
Well, the manure is primarily gotten from factory farms. This like large scale production of manure. It primarily comes from these factory farms. So
Okay.
would you see that as ethical?
I'm sure there's a bunch of things that I would do that are unethical, but I don't think it's a zero-sum game. You hear people say things like, I could go vegan, but not for cheese, because I love cheese. And it's like, okay, well, then do that. Like do as much as you can. It's not an all or nothing thing. And I'm trying to mitigate as much harm as I can. And I think just doing veganism in the way that most people understand it, which is not eating meat, not drinking milk or eggs or anything, is probably the best way to do it. But I'm sure I'm still going to be buying clothes that were unethically made in a sweatshop, or I'm going to have some sort of vegetable that was grown using factory farmed manure or something. I don't think it's possible to be completely clean of every single unethical thing that society does. You just have to push the lawmakers to make it better. So
well, it actually is pretty easy, and we can get into that later. But like, wouldn't you like compare that to basically raping like a woman with 3 inches of your cock instead of all 10 inches of mine?
No, I'd say that's a pretty poor analogy.
Okay, how so?
Well, one, I'm not doing the raping itself. I'm not killing the animal. I'm not putting it in the factory farm. I'm a consumer in a world where I have choices to pick which ethical products I'm consuming. And if I have the choice between one that is using factory farmed manure and one that's not, if I don't make that choice, I would say, okay, now I'm doing the worst thing. But I don't think it's like a degree of how badly I'm doing a rape. I think that's a much more egregious comparison.
It's actually worse than actually doing it yourself, and explain why. The reason why is because these firms would just not be able to operate if you wouldn't purchase any of their goods. Because we all know we live in a capitalist market, so if the total value or the total revenue doesn't reach the total cost or total marginal cost, then they actually will.
Yeah, but in a rape, I can unilaterally stop the rape by not raping, but I can't unilaterally.
But this is like,
I can't unilaterally stop factory farming. I can only stop it for my consumption and try to get as many people as I can to stop it. But one is obviously...
right, which is like partially raping. That's why we said the partially raping.
If it was a gang rape from all 8 billion people in the world, and I can stop 1/8 of an 8 billionth of it, then I am. But it's definitely not as bad as raping someone.
Okay, so you conceded it's partially rape then. So it's an okay analogy, would you say? It's just
it's a really bad one, but you could technically use it, yeah.
Well, it's bad because you don't like the way that you react to it. Your body has a gut instinct that says, "Oh, this is icky. I don't like rape, so I can't think of it in my head."
Well, I don't like rape, but it's not because it's icky. And
you don't
I
like
the
you like rape? What was the note? Maybe that was a Freudian slip. It's okay. A lot of guys like rape too, so it's fine. But
right.
Listen, so just curious. So you would not switch to veganic farm food? You would continue to be part of this community?
No, if this was a choice, obviously I'd switch to the veganic farm food. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. So you do have the choice. I implore you to look into it, and I also would like you to say that you're not really a vegan because you're consuming the byproducts of these animals.
Well, I'm not a vegan because I'm still not vegan. I'm
referencing obviously in the future.
I guess if you want to be very pedantic and have this proprietary definition of veganism, but I don't think that's how most people use it.
How is it proprietary? What you just said? I asked you for your definition. You said animal products. Is shit not an animal product?
It depends on how it's accessed, but when animal products, it's like, all right, are you doing... So I think there's an ethical way to consume eggs, right? If you just have chickens and they just lay eggs and nothing happens to them and you just pick them up and cook them, whatever, this isn't a big deal. The problem with eating eggs is that factory farms keep chickens locked up in cages in these horrible conditions and overfeed them and genetically modify them so their legs don't fucking work, and then they use those eggs, right? But if you just have chickens in your backyard that have eggs that don't really do anything, I think it's completely fine. I think honey isn't vegan, but you can totally just like take honey from bees in ways that are probably ethical, and I wouldn't mind.
How is that ethical? What? You're quite literally having an enslaved cognitive animal in your backyard, chained up like a slave.
I think the degree to which a bee understands slavery and imprisonment is the part there that I'm not sure is unethical, right? Like if you had a person in your backyard and you were taking, I don't know, their poop and they can't come out of their cage, I think this would be awful. If you have an ant and they're in an ant farm and they're completely content to do ant things in this ant farm the same way they would in your backyard or in a big field somewhere, I just don't think it's that bad.
Is that true of humans as well? Like for example, oh, okay. So why is it not true of humans, and why is it true of like other animals?
Their cognitive capacity. So like ants have little to no cognitive capacity and can't rationalize like being trapped probably, and if they do, it's to like, oh, I can't do the function I'm trying to do, and if you allow them to do the function they're trying to do, they probably aren't unhappy or feel enslaved. Yeah.
So you can't possibly conceive a human that couldn't like basically function the same way as a regular human, like you don't think there's a human that has the capacity to understand that they're trapped?
Oh, you mean like if they're like a baby? Do you think it's unethical to like put a baby in a baby cage?
This is not an interview about my worldview, sir. This
Well,
is an
I'm just
interview
trying to
about your
explore
worldview.
this, right? Like if there's a baby, right, and it doesn't care that you put it in a cage at nighttime so that it can't get out, is this unethical? Probably not. It's probably fine. And then
Why, why is this a probably? What? Can't you give like an absolute answer on this?
No, I haven't really fully explored the thought. I don't think it's bad because we do this, and I don't think that babies are like, traumatized by being locked up at night. But if you did this to an adult, they would probably be very upset that you're locking them up every night, right? And so the degree to which the thing can understand the suffering and interpret and feel this suffering, I think is really important. So if taking honey from bees doesn't upset bees, then I don't think it's a big deal. If taking a child away from a cow to make veal is upsetting to the adult cow, even if you like somehow could do this without harming the baby cow, I still think this would be unethical. Like you're causing trauma to that conscious being, right?
Right. So you can actually conceive a human that doesn't have the capacity to understand that it's being trapped, right?
Yeah, that's why I brought up the baby example.
Right. So what when I asked you what's this differentiation between a human and an animal that you care so much
Sure, you have a
about,
minute.
you couldn't really answer it. Why am I being timed, bro? Give me as much time as I want. I'm the fucking boss. I can go on for an hour and I can say whatever I want. I'm gonna say a lot of interesting stuff.
What were you saying,
Okay.
Grotesque?
So listen.
One more minute for this little thing.
Oh my days,
Oh,
bro.
we just
Anyway,
did this
so
here. So anyway,
Yeah, we're
anyway,
gonna move on.
I'm not quite sure. Was he trying to like purity test my veganism, or was he just trying to like? Is he vegan?
He just wants to be. He just wants to be disingenuous and bad faith. Anyway, he's irrelevant.
He's
just Geo. He's a different holy being.
Okay, well, if he's
He-
vegan,
well,
I
he's-
would understand the purity testing. But if he's trying to use that as a like, and this is why you're not better than me because you're not fully vegan, then it's like, all right, but that's like my whole point is that it's degrees, and you should always do as much as you can.
all I'll say here is before we move on is that like wasting 4 years of your life being 17 will mess up your brain. Anyway,
nice.
Let's get on here. So not a VC question, but it's from someone called Hello, and they're gay lesbian, and that's not me being mean. That's what their role says. I just want them to answer it. Can
Do you guys
be
do like the
anti-Israel?
Holocaust things where you like post like everyone's ethnicity and like sexuality on their profile?
Right. They're Canadian, American, and Irish, and they're 87 years old.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so he wants you to answer this. Can you be anti-Israel without condemning the genocide in China against Uruguays? I don't know how to say
Uyghurs.
this.
Can you be
Okay,
anti-Israel without?
Or the genocide against indigenous people in the Americans, or is that anti-Semitic?
Could you? I think you could be, but it would depend on your understanding of all of the different genocides, and I think most logically consistent people would say all of those things are bad. For example, my understanding is they're not like mass killing Uyghurs, they're like putting them in education camps, which is horrible, and they're trying to erase their culture, which is genocide. But I could conceive of a person who sees that and they're like, that's bad, but it's not nearly so bad, and this genocide is much worse. So could I be? Yeah, I'm not. I think all of those things are bad. So yeah.
I hope that answered your question, man. Sorry for earlier. Again, let's see if I can find something here. What are your thoughts on ordoliberalism? I don't know how to say that.
How do you spell it?
ORDOLEB, liberalism.
Ordoliberalism. My thoughts are I've never heard of this in my life. Sorry.
Okay. What are the strongest conservative arguments you know of?
Strongest conservative arguments? I guess the idea that like there is a cohesion of order, like this idea of like hierarchies and structure and order that comes from family or from like power dynamics, like it's not completely useless. It does drive society in good ways. Or can drive society in good ways. It doesn't always, obviously. Religion, as much as I don't like religion, does give people, third places outside of work and home that drives community. And like a lot of these Republican states, a lot of these Republican cities have a sense of social cohesion that I do really like. The problem is just all the policies that are attached to that. And so I think in the pendulum swing of like leftism and progressivism, people like to throw out this status quo stuff because there are a lot of problems that come with it, but they might do a baby with the bathwater thing. I think an example of this could be like masculinity. The rejection of that is, hey, like toxic masculinity is bad. The toxic part of it being, if you don't conform to what this very narrow view of what a man should be, that's bad and you should feel ashamed. And you can look at that and say, okay, that's bad, but that doesn't mean it's bad to be masculine. It doesn't mean it's bad to be traditionally masculine. It doesn't mean it's bad to lift weights or, you know, be a lumberjack or any of that stuff. And so there are some contingents on the left that are like trying to throw all of it away and say like, no, all gender norms are bad. Like you can't do that at all. And you know, conservatives push back against that. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, there are positive things about masculinity. There are positive things about certain stereotypes. There are positive things about the nuclear family. And the people that do try to throw all that out, I think is, I mean, not the norm on the left, but it definitely exists. But if anything, the liberals are the ones who are going to say, you could do whatever you want. You can be traditionally masculine. You could be effeminate. You can wear a dress, whatever. It doesn't matter. And conservatives say, you can be this one thing. So even though I know this was like, what's a good thing about conservatism? It's like the fraction of their, you know, cultural beliefs that does make sense, but most of it's just not good.
I'm going to pull up a VC question here. So I'm just going to pull this person up here.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Oh, it's Alish. What's up?
Hi. Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you, why do you think that Democrats are ever going to be able to contend with the fact that Republicans use fear mongering as a form of their what's the word I'm looking for? Messaging. Their overall messaging, because it's more effective than anything Democrats are doing right now.
Are they ever going to contend with it? I've seen like aspects of this where like maybe a John Ossoff or like any of these like bigger name Democratic senators will say like, they're trying to fearmonger about this. Look at what really matters. And they try to counter it by like refocusing it on affordability or people's day-to-day lives. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Like when they do fear mongering about trans people, it's like, oh, trans women in sports, coming out and being like, they are trying to distract you with these 12 people that exist like in the entire fucking country. Meanwhile, they're cutting your healthcare. Meanwhile, they're firing you in mass from your government job. I think refocusing like that is probably how they should try to message back. I don't know if you can really counter the fear mongering. It's what they've always done and they'll do forever. And to a degree, I mean, Democrats are going to do it too. The problem is that our fear mongering is usually much more justified. Like, no, they're not going to trans all your kids, but yes, the Republicans are coming for your healthcare. Yes, they do want you to fucking, you know, starve and die essentially. So fear mongering is always going to exist. It just depends on how you combat it. Yeah.
Yeah, do you think that like maybe we should stop taking like the high road when it comes to political
Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh, I'm literally releasing a video in 20 minutes when this is done about how we should stop taking the fucking high road and bully these fucking people. So yes, fuck these people.
Okay, yeah, I was about to didn't even need to finish that, of course.
Yes.
But essentially I feel like we definitely need to go gloves off. If they can sit here and just tell lie after lie after lie after lie, regardless of anybody's sanity or health or whatever, and just do whatever the fuck they want, I definitely think we should fight fire with fire. But
Yep.
what do you think that would look like for us?
It means like not trying to appeal to their like humanity and empathy. I mean, like literally, this is all going to be in my vid. Like I just finished editing almost all of it. I tried to get it done before this, but yeah, not appealing to their empathy, bullying them right the fuck back, like not bowing down from like, you know, treating these people like the pieces of shit they are, like really calling them out to their faces. And yeah, just like fighting tooth and nail to like get their legislation overturned and not trying to appeal to their kindness, essentially. Like there's no, hey, like you're being problematic, or like, hey, don't you understand you're hurting marginalized community? It's like, no, these people have had 1,000 chances to be better people. They don't give a fuck. They hate you. They're fucking evil, and we should call them out to their fucking faces. We should say like, hey, like, you know, Elon Musk, like go fucking go do ketamine in your room and never come out of your fucking room. You know, like this is dark woke. Fuck these people. These people are fucking ghoulish, disgusting monsters that want my family and friends to suffer, and I hate them. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise.
True.
So yeah.
True. Yeah, I came up here specifically to ruin the video because I somehow knew that you were making that video. So I specifically came up here because I was going to spoil the entire video. But I guess I'm going to ask one more quick question, and that is going to be, would it be more or less effective? Actually, you know what? I'm changing my question. Did you notice that this year, um, major companies have kind of pulled back on LGBT Pride Month
I
advertising?
didn't, but I mean, you know, it's always like every time Trump wins, there's all this like cozying up. All the tech companies are like, "Oh, Mr. Trump, you're so cool, and here's a fucking golden statue." And I'm sure it's less to do with it's the same reason you saw the Pride stuff in the first place, is because they thought that would make them more money. And now that the winds have shifted, they're like, "Oh, maybe it won't make us more money. Maybe it'll make people boycott us." So corporations don't give a fuck. They just want money. Basically, it's funny because
Okay.
they're made of people, right? There are people in corporations that are part of these decisions that care about LGBT people, but ultimately it gets approved by people who say, will this be good for the company? That's really what matters. So
Okay. Do you think that moving forward, we should see this? Do you think this is going to change the tides completely, or do you think we should continue with not disavowing, but not recognizing Pride Month as it has been recognized in the
oh no,
past?
we're woke 2 is we're going full on. We're saying you either you love gay people or you get the fuck out of my country. That's how it should be.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's based.
Yeah.
Based. Absolutely.
I
Okay.
love
Well,
everyone because they're different. That's the new philosophy.
no, yeah, totally.
I don't know if
I
you
hate to
saw,
say
there
that.
was it Oogles? There was the Tennessee House member who tweeted out like homosexuality has no place in America, and he got fucking torn to shreds, and he had to delete it, and then he had to say like, oh, my fucking intern did this. That's how it should always go. It should be like, oh, you have this like horrible bigoted view, like fuck you, delete this, or we're gonna like primary you. You're a fucking piece of shit. Like that's the only way to combat this, in my opinion now, because these people don't have any fucking shame. So either they need to feel like they should be scared to be racist. They should be scared to be homophobic. They should, oh, I don't know what society will say to me if I do that. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to have my job anymore. Like, that was good. I liked that. I want to fucking cancel these people. These people are
Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah.
So yeah.
No, you know what? Bring back cancel culture. You're right. Let's bring back cancel culture.
Yeah.
100%. I saw that tweet. That was disgusting. Kind of like how Trump was like, "Oh well, I thought that picture of me as Jesus, I was actually a doctor." Yeah, same mentality, same lies.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Anyway, I'm sure somebody else has questions. So
Yeah.
it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for coming up.
I'm going
Good to
to
talk.
bring-
Real quick, I'm going to stand up and I want to open the door to my really fucking hot sunroom a little more. It's going to make it brighter in here, but I can see my camera's giving me the temperature warning, which means about to shut off. So.
Oh.
Okay. I'll just
cancel
bring in a new voice, and then we'll do text channels for a while.
I actually have a question myself to ask.
Okay. Well, wait. Just let
Yeah.
Mythic come on here, and then you can ask a question, and then he can go. Okay. So let's do this here. But just ask your question.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, but let the Dark Master talk first.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
By the way,
Well,
real quick.
no, it doesn't matter which one of us goes first. But what I was gonna say is I have a bit of a personal question. So my question is, what sort of old video games or like media you kind of like grew up with? Like what kind of influenced you as far as pop culture?
Yeah, video game wise, I grew up. My first console ever was a GameCube, so I'm a big GameCube head. I love Super Mario Sunshine, Smash Bros. Melee. I think those games were just like so, yeah, like amazing and mystical and lovely. And then my evolution past that was, I mean, before that I played a lot of N64 because that's what my friends had. So I really like Donkey Kong 64 and Paper Mario, like the original one. But yeah, Thousand Year Door, Chibi Robo, Mario Sunshine, fucking peak. And then I evolved to like Xbox 360 era, played a lot of Halo 3. And Battlefield Bad Company 2, and then once I got a PC, I got a TF2, and I guess unfortunately League of Legends, because that's what all my friends in high school were playing. But yeah, that was more or less the abridged version of my video game journey.
Okay.
What about like shows or anything like that?
Shows. You got more specific? I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my head. I really like Scrubs as a kid. Tenacious D was a big influence on me. I was on YouTube really early, so a lot of YouTube slop, like movie reviewers, a lot of Red Letter Media and stuff. No, I read some manga, but I really didn't like anime because it always took too long. So I liked reading like Dragon Ball Z. I hated watching Dragon Ball Z, if that makes sense.
I see. I see. All right. So, Mythic.
Yeah, hello. Do I have a lot of background noise or no?
A little bit, but I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. It's just a quick question. So, like, as America is shifting towards like a world in which like white people become a minority, do you think like the idea of race ends up going away as like people become more and more mixed within the country, or do you think like people begin to like separate themselves into more racialized categories and we go back into some type of like segregationist mentality?
I don't think we'll go back to like more segregationist or it'll be like really bad. Like we're not going to go back to like Jim Crow, even if we do become more homogenized. But if you ever read the Sneetches by Dr. Seuss, like that was just so on point where it's like, yeah, like everyone looks exactly the same, but these guys have a little star on their fucking belly. And that's why they're the disgusting star people. You look at Europe, everyone's white in Europe pretty much. They all fucking hate each other. It's not because like, French people hate German people, hate Polish people, hate it's always going to happen like that. And we could all be the exact same race, exact same shade, exact same facial features, and we'd find ways to differentiate ourselves and compartmentalize and discriminate. It's always going to happen. It just probably won't be as bad. It'll be a lot better.
Okay, I just want to ask like one follow up for that. So I mostly asked this question because I talked to an individual who tends to espouse this idea that if white people become the minority, which they probably will because of the birth rates and all that, like when they become the minority, they will end up fractionalizing into this like separate group. And they start having this mentality of we should like support white people because minorities will attack white people. I disagree with this view. I disavow this. But I only ask this because I do kind of see the idea of like white people within certain areas starting to culminize around this idea of white identity, and we start having this idea of like, oh yeah, we should form like a white caucus, quote unquote, and they start like how does a black caucus? Like I guess my question is, how would you react or how would you respond to this types of like ideas? And like, do you think like it's a possibility that this white caucus could actually form in America given enough time?
I'm sure it could form. I think the ideas are usually ridiculous if you look at like how this plays out, where if a black caucus is in response to, decades of Jim Crow and like trying to reverse all the discrimination that kept black people out of all of these fields for so long, right? And if that started happening, like if, let's say like the worst scare mongering of what woke is happened to the country because left people keep getting into power and suddenly white people are like really fucking discriminated against the same way black people were. Yeah, I could see that happening then, and maybe it would even be justified where it's like, oh look, they're actually like, there's a Jim Crow for white people and they're losing their rights and we need to like, identify together and fight back against this. But I think ultimately what's going to happen is like, yeah, races are going to be less important. Lots of people are going to realize this doesn't fucking matter, and anyone that brings up these white identitarian politics are going to rally around like the insecure people who are worried about this stuff and like dog whistling or fall prey to these racist narratives. But the people like me or any of these other white people are going to say, well, like this, like nothing's happening. Like we're not really being discriminated against. And I don't need this caucus. I don't need white identity. Like everything's fine. I get along with my neighbors and there's no like fucking racial hierarchy being formed to suppress us. So I don't think it'll happen that way, but yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Grotesque, do you have a question? Because I need to do something behind right now. Or can you like take over real quick for me?
Oh yeah, for sure, I can do that. Okay. Let's see, I'll actually probably read off some of the
Real quick though, Cortesca, please check your DM. Apparently something TOS breaking is happening.
No, that's not. That's a nothing burger.
Okay, never mind then.
Did I show too much
That's
nip?
it, that's No, someone about the geo age thing again. The $1 million question of the server. No, he's an adult. It's okay.
I don't think being a minor is against TOS, right?
No, it isn't. We just label them. That's it. Actually, the guy that came up before, the guy with the like all the symbols in his name, I don't think he got quite the chance to ask all these questions. He just asked how you were. So
yeah, was he?
Maybe
Was he a stage
up.
fright? If he wants to ask an actual question, you can bring him up.
Yeah, I think okay. I've invited you up. Here we go. Oh.
Thank you. So This time I only have one question, though.
Okay.
Okay, so do you believe the only way to truly fix a dying state is to make its problems much worse on purpose until it breaks down and clears out the waste, corruption, and worthless parts out of it?
That sounds like accelerationism, and no, it's definitely not the only way, but I can foresee a world where it is a way to get things done. I don't think
I see.
accelerationism is completely, never to be tried anywhere, but it's usually, in my opinion, probably not the best way to do things.
So if we just brute force it, then it would only backfire on us, basically.
I don't know. It depends on the situation, right? Like people try to argue we should elect Trump because it'll get us closer to like more leftist policies because America will see how bad it is. I'm not sure if that's
Wait,
the way it's going
what?
to play out, right? But like that would be, let's make the country as bad as possible so that we clean slate and try to get rid of this thing. And I sometimes that might work. It depends on the case, and I'm not an advocate for accelerationism.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you, though.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Right.
I'm back, so I'm back to take stage.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can find the text
Yeah.
channel here now. Do you?
Big
Okay, so this is going.
Big Papa Buckaroo wants to come up. That's a friend of the show. That's the one with
Big-
the little purple
What-
flower.
Yeah. Let's bring him up. If there's anybody in your audience that wants to come up,
Yeah,
like,
bring him
definitely
up.
Drag him up.
I can't see that guy.
Wait,
Papa-
Big Papa. Yeah, there we go. Found him. There we go.
Okay,
Yep.
found him.
Okay.
Okay.
What's this guy want? Nope.
Yo, what's up?
Wait, that's not a guy.
I have a couple questions.
That's a
First
woman.
is, did you know you're gay? Just a quick question. I don't know. I thought we should really
A
cover
lot of
this
people. A
pretty
lot of people are
quickly.
saying this. So yeah, I've been informed.
I mean, that's what you get for all the working out. Frankly, this is what you get for the working out and the thirst traps. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk around the Castro, I look a lot like the gay people there. So
Yeah.
not that I walk around the
so-
Castro because that would be gay. I don't do that.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. I have a couple questions, but probably one of my biggest ones is, do you have any opinions regarding racism amongst the left?
Mm, Yeah, I think they don't do it enough. I think it'd be funnier if they did it a little more.
Against who?
Everyone. I'm an equal opportunity racist.
Mm,
Yeah, I felt white people were being
Okay.
too discriminated against in the woke movement, and I think that we need to spread the love a little more.
Spread the love to the
Yeah.
whites.
No. Spread the love of racism, how fun it is to be racist to all the other races who were not getting equal treatment under woke one.
I hear you.
Mhm.
Are there any bad ways? So when you're talking about not taking the high road anymore, are there any bad ways that you can think of to respond, or any ways that you've seen previously that you've thought like, now that was just a ridiculous way to respond that isn't just, the laying down and taking it kind of way that people have
Yeah,
done
there's
so far?
obviously bad ways to do it. I mean, like I recently, this whole Graham Plattner thing happened, and he's being accused of this sexual impropriety and weird stuff. And I don't know how credible any of these things are, but some of the ways that people are responding it to be like, yeah, like that fucking lying bitch. And it's like, okay, maybe you can be skeptical. That's fine. But like they're responding to it, in my opinion, like MAGA is responding to it. And I think that's like, all right, this isn't just like woke to dark woke. I don't care. Don't take the high road. This is like, you're just doing this weird partisan like hackery. And it's a less about being blunt and more about like just team sports in a way I don't like. So there are definitely bad ways to do it for sure.
Okay. And I guess I have my own opinion on this, but do you have any opinions on the relationship between modern politics and the social media climate surrounding politics? Like, do you think the issues that are covered online and in modern news are the same issues that voters are looking at And do you think they're the ones that we should be focusing on for policies, or do you?
Oh no, I think there's a huge divide. Like, you know, you go into online politics and half of everyone, at least in my bubbles, is like Hassan, 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 and then you like look at these polls and it's like 80% of Americans don't even know who the fuck this person is. That's why I think like Democrats focusing on like affordability and you know, just making everyone's life better is probably the best way to do this. And there is a huge divide, and it should continue. If anything, online politics should shift away from like more of this like interpersonal drama and like focus more on like what is actually a kitchen table issue that's making everyone's life better. I think there's so much wasted time and resource in online politics for sure.
Do you have any opinions on why that happens?
Because it's more fun. People don't want to talk about fucking Social Security. Like you look at like Sam Cedar going on Ten Pool, and it's like, hey, you just covered Social Security. It's one of the 3 biggest things the biggest thing our country does. It's like the most important thing we spend money on. Why the fuck don't you know anything about it? And Tim's like, oh, well, because, you know, I read a couple things that it was in the news. The answer is because it's fucking boring. It is really boring. And Sam admits as much. He's like, the only reason I was able to pontificate about this was because you were so fucking stupid, and people want to watch me dunk on you, but they don't want to watch me lecture you about Social Security for 2 hours. So yeah, it's just less fun, and it sucks that like so much of our politics is driven by like, is it fun? That shouldn't be how it works, but it is, and that sucks, but you got to have to weaponize that, I guess.
So with that in mind, how do you think, like, what do you think would be the best way to get people more motivated politically and get people who previously weren't voting?
If I knew that, I would solve politics. I have no fucking idea.
Do you have like any ideas? Of course, yeah.
Yeah, like the more you can appeal, like I don't know if this is populism or more just like how can I appeal to the most people, not like kind of focus it on like how what I was saying, like making everyone's life better. Like if you can point them at problems that are actually making their life harder and say, I'm going to fix those, I think that might get people to vote. But unfortunately, you can get people to vote by saying immigrants are coming and killing everyone, which just like isn't true. But everyone thinks there's this like horde of fucking Mexican people like storming the border, and they're all military aged men, and they come into the city and they burn it down, just like BLM. And it's like, well, that got a bunch of people to fucking vote. So I don't know. I don't know how you solve it. Education needs to be better. We need to like fight disinformation, but there's no perfect solution, unfortunately. I'm more and more doom pilled on it the more I try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
I'll
that.
change. I'll have my arc, my doom arc. Nothing matters. We're all gonna die. That arc is happening.
I guess my last question is more just about you and your interests. What are some YouTubers that you actually watch now? Are you like
Who do I
sticking to a
watch
couple
now?
YouTubers, or do you,
Like political or just in
you know,
general?
is it just whatever people, topics, stuff, you know?
I've been
Some
watching a
people
lot
just
of
watch
Donkey recently. I've been rewatching
Donkey.
Donkey
Okay,
videos because he
okay.
makes me laugh and everything's good. I'm just going through my subscriptions now. Like what have I been watching lately? I like Mr. Sunday
Yeah.
Movies. He's good. I like let's see, what else am I going in here? I still watch a lot of Majority Report. I still like them. They're good for like topical dunking and news. Yeah, I don't know, just whatever's in my feed. I think my subscriptions are public, but I don't know. I'd watch your channel if you made fucking videos, but you still haven't done it.
I'm working on
Yeah, you've
I'm
been
working on a
working
big
on it
one.
for a year.
It's a big AI one. Well, I'm doing a lot of research for it.
Oh, okay.
The last
Oh,
video
you're
I
doing
made.
lots of
I
work.
I literally have a book. Where did I put my book? Oh, I moved it. Oh my God. I moved it under
Is that
a
one of-
makeup box yesterday while I was cleaning.
Is that one of the
I'm
Uzumaki
researching.
books behind you?
Yeah, it is actually.
Oh, nice. Damn nice.
Yeah, Uzumaki right there. Actually, this is one of the books, A Quest for Artificial Intelligence. It's the history of artificial
Alright,
intelligence.
get this fucking nerd off the screen, all right? I'm tired of this nerd.
But I
Get her
actually
out
have
here.
one that's literally only on the math. Okay.
Get this
And I'm
fucking
reading
nerd
this
out
shit.
here.
If I could be allowed to ask.
Okay, I'm
answer-
researching this, okay?
Oh, sorry. If I could be allowed
Thank you,
to
guys.
add a question to the whole like YouTuber thing, have you watched The Birdman?
The film? Oh,
No, like
the Birdman. Yeah. I became mutuals with him on Twitter recently, and I like him like taking down all these fucking movie grifters, which is something I do more of if I was into like the media politics space. But I think he does a pretty good job of it. So yeah, I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, like
Thank you,
he
guys.
makes very good videos. Now, nice to have you here. Real quick, I want to like just real quick. I apologize for the whole like gay lesbian thing. That was on me. Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like if I don't apologize, it's going to like come back to bite me later. Just to be on the good side here.
I see,
Let me see here.
PV's Benjamin Gilbert's in chat. If he wants to come up, he has a direct line to me constantly. I don't know why he's doing it here, but like in my DMs. But I guess Big Papa was also in my DMs, and we're friends, so I don't know why she had to come up. She just wants the clout, a little clout monster. Yum 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 yum.
I mean, if he or she like raises her hand.
Ben has his hand up, and he's the fourth one in the audience.
Okay, let me
Wait,
pull
what's
him
his
up
name?
here. Did you say Ben?
Benjamin
The
Gilbert.
fourth
Just Ben. Oh, that one. There we go.
one? I see him here.
Yep, done.
Hi.
What's up, Ben? How's it going? What crazy Twitter thing are you getting me canceled over today?
Oh, you know me so well. So I have a question that I've been itching to ask you for the last several weeks now, and I've been strategically waiting for the perfect opportunity where all the people who could hear the answer would have it conveniently clipped online.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but you decided that that's going to be our AMA. Interesting. Very well.
I like sharing the clout for people.
Yeah,
So my
unlike
question-
Geo, this is making me sweat. I'm curious where this is going.
So my question is, fuck, marry, kill Hassan, Vosh, and Destiny.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
Have fun. I will now watch the drama, from my private abode.
Yeah, wow. All right. So the fuck, marry, kill, you always got to break it down to who's the hottest, who's the least desirable insofar as like you don't want to have sex with them and you don't want to stay with them forever, and who would be the least intolerable as a wife. So I'm gonna have to say, fuck Hassan, marry Vosh, kill Destiny, because I don't want to fuck Destiny and I don't want to marry Destiny, so I gotta kill him, I guess. I don't want to fuck Vosh, but I think Vosh could like keep me company, you know, like we met in person. He's like, it's fun to talk to. So I guess marry him. And apparently he's doing his like, was it cooking or fashion? He's doing his fashion arc, so maybe I could get some fashion advice from him. I definitely can't get fashion advice from Hassan because he looks like a Goomba. But Hassan's attractive, I guess. But yeah, that's a hard one. That's like do I get the opportunity to dip out after I've made the three choices? But yeah, I think that's got to be the closest I can get to an accurate one.
No, it's a good answer. You can always use the gun that you used on Destiny on yourself to end the shame of the situation once and for all. So that's always an
Ben
option.
waited for weeks to come in here and tell me to kill someone and then kill myself. Got it.
Correct. Aren't I a true leftist?
That's very leftist of you. I can't wait for that to
Yeah.
make the rounds and make 7,000 drama threads and get me all the death threats and the drama slop. It's so fun. Thank you, Ben, for starting
Hey,
a new cycle of discourse.
Hey, if I have to deal with it, I like sharing the love.
Oh, good.
But
this is
I
making
do
it
have
work.
a real
Double it
question.
and give it to the next guy. That's Ben's fucking philosophy.
Exactly. I do have a real question though. How are you
Okay.
feeling about Shoykot's loss?
I wasn't even 100% sold on him. That's why I didn't endorse before the primary. I mean, I didn't not like him, but unfortunately, just like looking between him and Wiener, it was like there's not enough of a distinction for me to be like one of these people needs to win. I would have been happy with him winning or Wiener winning, and so I'm not like super upset. Sucks. Like I want more progressives to win and change the party and make it more open to pushing us left like Bernie did, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, like if it was like between Shoykot and like some like crazy establishment Dem, I'd be like, damn, that fucking sucks. But like you go to Scott Wiener's thing and like he's got good experience, he's got a lot of really progressive policies, he's got really good history with bills. So I think like his weakest position is like Israel stuff. He's like finally warmed up to being like, okay, Israel is doing a bad thing in Gaza. It took him a while to get there, but like otherwise, like yeah, I'm not like gonna cry. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I think he'll probably be a good politician when he wins. So
Okay, cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any more embarrassing clippable questions. So you're on the clear now.
well,
Or
now
in
I
the
know what to
clear,
expect every time you pop in. So
Well, I like keeping you on your toes.
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your service. So I want to ask a question since Hassan Piker was like mentioned one time, but I didn't get to ask it earlier. What's your opinion on like the whole thing that Hassan is like banned from entering the UK?
I mean, I don't know how this works, like why or how they ban people, and like what the precedent is. Just on off the top of my head, I'm like, this is kind of a liberal, like banning people from your country. I know they did the same with certain neo-Nazis, which I think I also wouldn't be necessarily okay with. So it's weird insofar as I think it's like illiberal, but I don't know like whether or not it is precedented for like, hey, if this person promotes this kind of terrorism, they're just not allowed in, or however the fuck that works. I'm not quite sure. I just oppose it in principle, but I haven't looked into it. So
Okay, I mean that's a good answer at least. Let me find a VC question here.
I will say this, because I did have a debate recently where I was, people say, sweeping for Hassan because the Trump admin is like subpoenaing him over his trip to Cuba. And while I'm obviously open to investigating foreign influence, I think this was like a move from the government to try to like attack or silence like their media critics. And you look now and they have this page where they put Hassan and like David Pakman and these other people, like the full range of like left-wing people up as like enemies of the admin, which is fucking scary. And so like as much as I don't like Hassan's politics and I don't like a lot of what he advocates for or how he even like disseminates information, I think the bigger issue here is the fucking fascist government that's trying to mark media people as enemies of the country and like sicking the fucking government on them. And that's disgusting. So the UK thing is similar to me where I'm like, there could be a world where I'd say, okay, that's just how they do things and this is probably fine, but I think that's maybe not what's happening right now.
Okay, so let me put this VC question, no, like this text channel up. What is your opinion on having corporal punishment for minor or mid-level crimes such as littering or theft, or capital punishment for things like drug trafficking and kidnapping, like what they do in Singapore? Because I think it's a good idea. And this is from Jake.
I think it's one of those things where like the visceral gut instinct is to be in support of these things, where I don't like capital punishment. I think that there are crimes where it's probably deserving of this person not existing, where it's like, okay, there's no redemption for this person. And there are crimes that aren't deserving of that make me want to kill someone, right? Like I saw the video footage of a guy stealing my bike wheel and I'm like, God, I want to kill that guy. You know, that's the visceral reaction. But I don't think that's how society should run. I think even if it can work insofar as it heavily disincentivizes crimes, I think there's too many innocent people that can get caught up in the crossfire where we're like, oh, we accidentally killed someone because we have, the death penalty, or, sure, we hit people when they litter, but like also this creates this weird toxic society where people are, maybe don't want to litter, but they're also very uptight and are constantly like, afraid to be themselves. And I think these things lead to more restrictions, even if they can lead to a solution short term to the problem. Like if we just fucking, thank you for that. Ben just gave me 100 super chat. Thank you, Ben. He says, penance for my sins. But yeah, we'll see how much worse it's going to get. Maybe I have to donate more. I don't support it in practice because I think there's too many loose ends. I think there's too many downstream effects I don't like, but I think the gut reaction for justice is, yeah, fuck, if I saw someone litter, if I saw someone like threw a fucking chip bag in my clean, nice park, fuck them. I want to hit them with a cane, but I don't think that's how society should work.
So we're going to pull up a VC question, and I'm glad it's a VC question because that's like a long wall of text I'm not even going to like read, even with this sexy voice here. So, Citizen 887, you're up.
Do you want me to do like the text questions because you haven't enough time reading them, and then you do the VC?
Citizen, are you going to speak, or because otherwise I'm just going to pull you down? Hello? Citizen.
Grotesque, I want you to read the text questions like you're trying to sell me a car.
Oh. No. He says he is muted. You are not muted, Citizen. But you're gonna have to figure out something in about like a few seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're just going to go. We're just going to go
Oh,
with
can
a
you hear
six.
me now? Can you hear me now?
We
Oh,
can hear you
Lord.
now. We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. So you said a couple of things that I don't know that I agree with, but let's start with you were saying that the left has to stop going high. I originally wanted to ask you why you think the left is losing elections. I assume it's probably something along those lines.
Well, the
I
left
guess
is not losing elections. We're doing really well in the past year. But if like you mean 2024 and like when Trump,
I mean, I guess right now the entire United States government is controlled by the right. That's what I mean by the left
yeah,
losing elections.
so like 2024 and before.
Sure.
Yeah, I think
Sure.
there wasn't a good cohesive message in 2024. I think there's the Biden like poor dropout and just not being a great candidate, and Kamala kind of coming in at the last minute. I think the economy was not in a place where people were feeling like the effects of inflation and were like, yep, everything's going fine. Like it didn't matter how good we recovered, we were still hurting. I don't know how easily we could have won that, and I think the closest thing we got to a cohesive like, and this is the direction going forward, was when Kamala stepped up and started shitting on right wingers, and everyone's like, we want to fight her. We see all these people getting hurt because of these people's awful fucking policies, and I'm you know, like if you look limp next to these people, if you look like you're even willing to support or give credence to any of these ideas, you're not like representing me, and people get really disaffected by that. And I think you saw that with the Tim Walz debate. And yeah, when I say like don't go high, I'm like, yeah, don't be like we're better than this, because we're not. This is America now. So I think you just need to fight these people and get them the fuck like their ideas out of the country. I don't mean we should be deporting right wingers, by the way, when I say get them the fuck out of the country, but like these people should, you know, go back into hiding and feel ashamed to be who they are. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think for the most part, the left establishment has been pretty stupid. And I just wonder why they continue to be stupid. But anyways, so let's move on to then. I guess if the left now, the thing is, let's stop going high, right? Let's get down in the mud with them. Like, what's left to govern at the end of that? Then we just got a bunch of troglodytes slinging shit at each other, and we govern that. Is that what you like to see?
No, I mean, like, you look at, like, how Gavin Newsom is, like, you know, saying, hey, look at these fucking idiots, these morons, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're terrible, you don't govern well. Like, that sort of fighting doesn't necessitate... That's the country we already live in. There's no, like, oh, what happens when we devolved? We're already there. We're there, and if they're going to do it, well, I'm willing to fight them on their terms.
We can't elevate them. We can't elevate the rest of the country. We must come down to them because that's the country we live in.
When we're in power, that's when we get to shift and be nicer, and we start to like police ourselves again, and we can say, hey, like maybe we should stop using these gendered slurs like bitch. But right now, that's completely useless because the people in power don't fucking care. So we do whatever we can and shit on them and rally around the hate and anger that they've caused and get them the fuck out of power. And then once we have like 8 Democratic administrations in a row, then we can start being nice and pretty and dainty and be, you know, like bring the country back up. But you can't, I don't think you can do both at the same time. Like the country has just rejected this time and time again.
So we get the power and then we're going to be something worth governing at that point. Okay, and then the last thing is, you know, just earlier you talked about, someone asked, like, what makes you an authority on Israel, Palestine? You said, well, I'm not an authority. You said, but I have read a book, which I actually commend you on. I'm not being facetious. I think many people haven't even done that much work, right, of reading a book about it. So when we talk about the, like, online opinion economy, right, like, what's the value in all these people saying their opinions when they have no background or knowledge of most of the topics they talk about? And then besides self-enrichment, I guess I would say, and then, you know, what seems to get the most engagement, they're the most extreme views, right? And so now we just pull people to these extremes with this whole opinion overload, right? What's the value here? Like, what's the value of adding another opinion to the void of opinions of people screaming besides just enriching yourself?
Well, that's like, yeah, the incentive obviously is for people to be like, hey, everyone look at me, I'm the one who's correct and get money. But that's why, like, I won't speak out on certain issues. You know, if I have like my base level opinion, I'll also like, yeah, I think this is good, this is bad. But it does frustrate me that people will look to certain people as like the litmus test for whether or not they should agree. Whether or not what they think is if they agree with that person, right? It's like, oh, like I don't know what I think about my favorite movie. Let me go watch my favorite movie reviewer. What did they say, right? It's like this should always be supplemental Like any and all voices in this space should be supplemental to what you do on your own. Like you shouldn't be getting all your news from fucking me. I'm not a news source. I have my opinions, and if you like hearing them and they're entertaining, that's good. I don't think that means you should discredit my opinion. I don't think that's like a way for me to hide from like criticism, but I don't like when people uphold me or anyone in this space as like an authority on politics. It should always be like a supplemental thing where you already kind of have this opinion, and maybe a debate could change your mind, maybe an opinion could change your mind, but it should be more of a cavalcade of different sources and opinions. And if it's not that, you get these dangerous little bubbles where people are just like, well, whatever this guy says is the right thing, and I don't like that. So yeah, I don't think everyone should have an opinion on everything, and if they do, it should always be taken with a grain of salt and compared with like at least 10 other opinions.
Plenty of those out there. Last thing is Gio's wrong about just about everything in the world, but he is right about veganism, and I think vegans are just mostly self-serving people who like to talk about how much better they are than other people because they are vegan. I just wonder, a thought experiment to all vegans, and maybe to you too, since you're going in that direction. If someone were to tell you that if you stop talking about veganism, they would stop eating animals or they would stop killing animals, but every time you spoke about your veganism or how people should be vegan, they would kill 3 animals. Do you think they would stop talking, or do you think they actually don't care about the animals and they just care about letting people know that they're vegan?
I mean, if you ask me specifically, if the answer was like this very obvious trolley problem, I'd just shut the fuck up. I'd be like, well, shit, I don't want to make them kill animals. But it's like one of those like hypotheticals where really what you're asking me is, do people actually care about animals, or do people like virtue signaling? And the answer is both. I think people like virtue signaling and they care about the animals. There are people who might only care about the virtue, but it feels good to do the right thing. And it feels good to be like, hey, I think this is the right thing and I want you to do the right thing. So in this hypothetical, it's absurd, right? Because really what would happen is, hey, I'm going to advocate for these people to stop killing animals because they heard about veganism, right? And I think that's what vegans should do. But yeah, if you're fucking insufferable about it, because it's hard to not be insufferable when you believe you are better than other people, you got to hold people's hands and not like police their language. It's the norm. If you're breaking a societal norm, the societal norm is eating meat. You can't pretend like these people are fucking evil, even if you think meat is murder. You have to be like, hey, like this is why I made this choice, and I think you should too. But if you're just going around being like, you are all fucking murderers, and I'm throwing bloody paint on you, it doesn't matter if you're right that you're murdering animals. Like the people just aren't going to listen. So,
all right, that's all I got. Thanks.
Thanks.
A VC question.
Oh, but no. There's priority here. There's a question from Doobie.
Doobie. Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. So he
Don't drag
says
me
on
into
a
drama
scale
slap,
from.
Doobie.
Oh. Okay. So he says on a scale from APAC is just another lobby with no outsized influence to pro-Israel money has captured significant portions of both parties in a way that hurts American interests. Where do you actually land, and what evidence would move you further along than the scale that you currently are?
Where do I land on that spectrum? Well, I don't think they're just any other lobby just because they're like one of the biggest spenders to my understanding. Like they do have a huge volume. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't like super looked into this. I think the fear-mongering over lobby money, I always flip back and forth on this because some lobby money just fucking makes sense. Like, hey, this person's going to do things that help my country. I'm going to support them. Like, I don't think that's inherently bad. What happens is when it's like, all right, if these people can spend enough money, because like if you've read Dark Money by Jane Mayer, you look at like the volume of like dark money and PACs that can shift elections or like buy like millions of dollars worth of TV ads. Like that's when it starts to get gross to me, where I'm like, okay, well, we are subverting the will of what the people would be if they just had, here's the 2 candidates, what do you like better? So yeah, I don't know. I don't think if you take APAC money, this is inherently like some evil like thing, like, oh God, you're a fucking demon. But the thing is, APAC does support what Israel's doing in Gaza. If you're taking money from them, you probably do it too. It's probably not changing your mind and like, oh, I wouldn't have done this but for the APAC money. It's probably like, well, you are supporting it, so here's the APAC money. So I understand people using this as like a litmus test for like, are these people going to try to end Gazan suffering? But yeah, whether or not it's like, this is like, do I think we have a Zionist occupied government? No. But I do think there's a lot of people in government who are clearly sympathetic to Israel and what they're doing. So I don't think it's because they're bought and paid for. I think it's because for whatever reasons, we've got the people who think that Jews need to remain in Israel when the fucking rapture happens because they're fucking insane religious like zealots. There's people that are Jewish themselves, and they say like, hey, like without Israel, Jews wouldn't have a place to go. Worst case scenario. All sorts of reasons. So like I think people hyper focus on the AIPAC thing, and there's problems with the spending, and apparently the volume's really high. But I guess I'm like slightly to the left of the middle of that spectrum, maybe in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. So a text chair question is, who do you want to see become president in the future?
I have not given it a lot of thought. I know of the people who are running, and I don't know if I'd be really upset if any of them were president. Bernie was my preferred candidate in 2016 and 2020. So if we're looking at like the probable hopefuls, I think Ro Khanna might be the closest to that. But I'm not sure to what degree. I support every one of his policies. Gavin Newsom would also be like hey, he's more right than I'd want, but he wouldn't be an awful president. Yeah, I don't know yet. We'd have to, ask me again in 2 years. Or
All right.
1.5.
I actually have a question I'd like to ask. That's a policy question.
Let's do it.
So when it comes to the structure of corporations, how they're top down, would you be for would you be for more bottom up structure, like something like worker co-ops, like where democratically the workers elect their bosses, something like that?
I can't say like I would want more of it because I don't know to what degree how this would look in bigger industries. So there's a lot of co-ops where I live in Berkeley. There's restaurants that are co-ops, there are like bike shops that are co-ops, and they all seem to be pretty good. And like I'm okay with that. I think there's like that bigger social co-op in Spain, what's called like Mondragon or whatever, that like apparently works well. But it's hard for me to say like we should do this everywhere until I see this as like a method that works better. Because there's obviously like things that I don't think every worker would have the best interest or like understand like what they're voting for or how this makes it better. In the same way, like I don't think we should have a direct democracy. I like representative democracy better. I think there's too many factors to consider. So I guess I just have to see how it plays out. If people want to go form co-ops, I don't think there should be huge restrictions. And if it's working out and we start shifting
Do you
to more
think,
co-ops, that'd be good.
Yeah, do you think a factor may be like when trying to judge this that say like one sort of structure may like a heavily top down structure, for example, may try to like maintain its like power and hegemony in how it engages with economics. So I mean like as far as like as far as things like like how we judge empirical data, one of the things that I would say is important to consider is, okay, well, we're looking at empirical data, but like what are we looking at it for?
I'm not sure what the question is. What are you asking?
Oh, so like how like a corporation is top down centralized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, like if you had, more bottom-up structures, right? That is radically divergent from what is, typically common in our economies.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people who, obviously are at the top of these corporations. They make a lot of money, they have a lot of power. They probably would not like to lose that. And so when we judge these different like economic like structures, right, it is like worth considering, okay, well, we're not like just innocently looking at the data, like there's like real interests of like different groups and stuff here. And I'm just like wondering, okay, well, how do you think like what would you say would be the best method for judging that? Just like off the cuff,
I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea how to answer that question the best method. Sorry.
Fair enough. No, that's fine.
That's
fine. All right,
something I'll have to give more thought, but I do appreciate the question. I hope I can have a better answer next time it comes up.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so it's Misel's turn. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's okay. So but like, do you believe in free will? And then like separately, what do you think the effects of free will are on like us? Do you think the ruling class want us to be in free will? Different questions, but
do I believe in free will? It depends, because I'm one of those people where like I bet that if we had a sophisticated enough computer that could calculate every probability, you could probably predict exactly what everyone's going to do forever, which people would say that's not free will. But free will from our perception is like, do I have a choice? And even though we are predetermined insofar as what I believe, like if we could control for every variable, our perception is that we do have free will. Our perception is like when I'm presented with something, I'm going to make a choice based on what I think is right. And even though someone could tell me exactly what that's going to be, that doesn't mean that I'm not choosing, if that makes sense. So yes and no, I guess like by the colloquial definition, no, we don't, but I think it shouldn't matter because we still perceive our choices as choices and we still have moral quandaries and experiences that are going to alter those choices. And so ultimately it doesn't matter if you could predict it all because we can't. And then if you could, then it would be like, okay, well, it doesn't really matter what you would choose because I'm going to tell you and interfere with your free will and say like, you're going to choose this. So, you know, it gets really complicated at that point if you could literally predict everything. But yeah, I guess we have free will insofar as we understand free will, but technically we don't.
Yeah, that's interesting. You said like if there was a supercomputer, right? Like that is like the first ever like idea of determinism there was. It was like the Laplace's idea of a demon that could predict the future if he knew everything about the world currently. The difference is I think there is like a big effect on belief in free will. Yeah, so it's like I think if everyone was a determinist, if everyone just accepted that like people didn't, you know, like teen mums aren't truly responsible, and that there are like structuralist causes of why a person becomes a criminal, we would be more like compassionate and we would like change, for example, like prisons to be more like rehabilitatory instead of like punitive and retributive.
Yeah,
and
that yeah, no, I agree. That like a lot of my societal prescriptions come from the fact that it's like, hey, like, do you have a soul that made you choose this, or are you a collective of all of the experiences that you didn't get to choose whether or not this happened to you, right? Like, I didn't get to choose if I was born poor. I didn't get to choose whether or not like I had an abusive parent that might have made me react differently to different things. I didn't get to choose my brain chemistry, and so yeah, criminals choose to do crime in a lot of cases. But I think, yeah, having more sympathy for these sorts of things and saying like, hey, like you might have done the exact same thing in the same circumstances means we should give people second chances. We should try to make people into better people. And if that's your extension of believing that there isn't free will, then yeah, I think that's a good one.
I would even still hold that, you know, like criminals don't truly choose to commit crime. But that's like more about like, does free will exist? Yes or no? Just the effects of belief in it is more important, I think. And the most important thing to recognize is that like the ruling class want us to believe in free will. It helps them, okay, to continue this belief that upward social mobility is possible and that there aren't things keeping us where we are, is exactly what like serves them, right? What keeps them in the positions. And the belief that the poor are poor because they made all the wrong choices and the rich are rich because they made all the right choices is like absurd. And it's so clear who it's helping.
Yeah,
so I think
that's interesting though, because sometimes when I see these rich ruling class people talk, I don't know if they want people to believe that free will exists and that's why we are all actually our own faults for being where we are. I think they just believe it. I think there's like a study where it was like the Monopoly thing where they gave like people unfair advantages and like all the people that had these unfair advantages just believed that they deserved it and like they earned it. So it's not like we know better and we know you're all a product of your choices, because I think if they really did believe that, they would be more sympathetic. I think they just believe like, no, I'm just better. Like I made the right calls and that's why I'm rich. So
okay, that's a good point. That's maybe true. Maybe they don't like actively recognize it's helping them, but like it's internalized and it is helping them at the end of the day. Like this belief is helping them and we should, you know, maybe do something against that. But yeah, that was my question. So
thanks.
Thank you.
That was a good question.
MC, you have okay. So the above one gets to go, and afterwards it's MCATs. So go above one.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to meet you. I want to first thank you. I've been watching your content for a long time. You've also got me in shape, so
oh hell yeah.
Much respect. But my question for you is, when is violence the answer? When is it an acceptable response? I feel like for liberals right now and progressives, it seems like they're split down the middle where, you know, there are some like Adam Mockler who outright say violence has no place in our politics. but I've heard you, especially on your podcast with Hutch and a lot of other liberals. I don't know a lot of their names. I heard you retort, and I agree. Often when you do that, there is a point where, if to match the oppression, if the oppression gets to a certain extent, violence may be the answer. And I guess
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure
There's not a
figure
hard
out.
line, but it's usually when the alternative is so bleak that it can't be done. Like, I would say if, they can't start canceling every election, it's like we just have unilateral control forever. Like, that hasn't happened yet. And they tried and they didn't have it happen. But, they're pushing for this. They want that. And there's a world where we can't change through voting. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how far off that is. It is far off. But if you can't and you're just oppressed forever, like, in Nazi Germany, then violence and uprising was the answer, right? So I don't know what the exact line is, and it's definitely, TOS for me to like try to define it, because as soon as that one thing that maybe I tried to be too specific about happens, it's like, oh, now I guess the soy pill says we should start being violent. But like, yeah, there's going to be some point where maybe it's not the only answer, but there's just no other foreseeable way forward for like the entirety of the country. And I hope we never got there, because if that at that point everyone's so doomed that pilled, right? They're just like, oh, all we can do is violence. We're just going to be killing each other, and that's not what we want in politics. Like, then we can never have discussion. We can never move forward. I don't know how you recover from that. That's kind of what the Civil War was, and I don't think we're close to that. And I hope that never happens. But there's some line. I can't define that. It's definitely, we're not there yet. We're not. I don't think we're close, and we're not there yet. But we could be there in a couple of years. Who knows?
I mean, I feel. Can I respond to that, or is that just?
Go ahead.
I don't know how this usually works. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying about how you feel like we're nowhere near close to that, and we're not there yet. But I'm not saying we are there, but I do think progressives seem to have this like more like sacred view of when violence, when violence can be employed compared to conservatives. Like, I think January 6th was something so insane that I'm surprised we don't still talk about it every day. I mean, we had people break into the Capitol, shatter glass, get into the building,
beat up
Confederate
cops and all
flags
that,
with weapons, beat up cops. Like, that's an extreme form of violence. And now we know that our government is naming left-leaning people as terrorists, spying on people. ICE is grabbing people off the streets. Our government is full of pedophiles. If there's any time to storm the government buildings and call for that, I feel like it would be now, right? I mean,
Well,
not saying
it's
I'm
funny
kinda like,
you
but I'm
brought
just
up
saying-
January 6th, because I think if the January 6th people had an actual factual basis for like the election being stolen, that might have been justified, right? Where it's like, hey, the will of the people said, we don't want this fucking president anymore, or we want our president to change the country, and you stole it from us. And so you've broken our faith in democracy. We can't win through the system. Maybe we do need to like try to like do some sort of revolution, which is kind of what that was. Now, unfortunately, they were lied to, and that never happened. So I mean, not unfortunately, but it's just like you can't justify it. But there's a world where like a January 6th made sense if the government said, fuck these elections, we're throwing them out. We're burning all the Democrat votes or some shit, or burning all the Republican votes. Like there's a world where that could happen, and it would be like, yeah, like, but unfortunately they didn't have an actual factual basis for it. But yeah, if it got to the point where democracy stops working because they're cheating so much, maybe you do need to have like a January 6th type event, or some sort of pressure campaign to make the people accountable to the will of the voters. So
I hear you. I guess I just feel like it's still in the same area of ambiguity to me, because I feel like you can always point to like gerrymandering. Like, there's always something you can say, like, when it gets
why
to
isn't
that
that
point,
justified?
then
Yeah,
there's
I
the
know what you're
time.
saying. It's like, well, didn't they steal a bunch of votes by gerrymandering? Didn't they steal a bunch of votes by
And it's
like
getting worse.
in the
It's
2000
like-
election? Like, didn't they steal votes by having the governor of the country be the brother of the candidate who like had sympathies with the Supreme Court? Like, that's
course.
why it's hard to say. And this is the line, because sometimes it is justified and sometimes it's not. Like, we recovered from 2000. But also a gajillion Iraqi people got killed, and all the harm to the Bush government. Like, when is it justified? Like, it's hard to do that calculus and say like, what was the harm done because of the stealing, or what was the harm done by the democracy subversion? Like, what would have been the harm if we did violence to overturn our election? Right? These are really difficult questions, and you can't draw a line.
don't
It's
you
always going to
worry?
be vague.
don't you worry? Like, we could just be waiting for fascism to just tighten its grip more and more.
Yeah.
over
And if
anything.
you're a live and learn watcher, I've argued with Hutch and IRI on this, where I'm like, when do we say like, hey, this is too dangerous to let it keep happening? But yeah, you got to look at how effective would it be? Would it be the best option? Do we recover from that? These don't have good answers, and so it's very hard to be like, and here's the violence line. We crossed it. Go do it now. Like I can't give you that.
Well, that's all. That's all I wanted to say. Also, bring Rashad back on the podcast. I love
Rashad.
his
Yeah, we
fire.
do love Rashad. I want to start a masculinity podcast with him. He's great.
Oh, hell yeah. That'd be awesome. But that's all. Thank you.
Oh, the Skewered has a really good comment just for you. Last thing he says, is violence justified smuggles in the wrong assumption, which is that violence would be politically advantageous, and this is very rarely the case. Violent groups almost never achieve their political goal, and I think, yeah, historically you can look in a lot of cases this happens. So you have to be like pretty fucking sure that this is going to be good for you. January 6th, let's say it was completely justified, didn't work, and that fucked over a lot of things for that party. So true, he pardoned a lot of them, but I think that was worse for the Republicans in the long run.
I understand that. And again, I'm not calling for violence right now even. I just feel like if Republicans felt, if half of the stuff that is being subjected to, progressives are being subjected to right now was happening to conservatives, they would not have taken it. Like, it would have already been.
I think in their perception, it was this and worse. They thought that white people were essentially being, like oppressed and second-class citizens, and they were just they just LARPed and sat around and posted about it. I think a lot of them were just LARPers.
Well, anyways, I thank you for the
thanks for coming up.
The one above, you have to leave. Thank you. So MCATS, it's your turn.
Howdy. So I've got a bit of a two-parter. The first part is like all about unions. So like I hear a lot of people on the left kind of like fetishize unions and say that it's kind of like this like path towards like achieving more like left-wing goals in America. But like if you look at it, half of like all union action like during like union summer was like in California, a place that already has pretty good union protections. So it kind of seems like union power is a byproduct of winning, not a way to like reach our goals. So like, what do you think
I can't
about
give
that?
a strong comment on that because I am not super informed on unions. My experience with them has been both positive and negative. I have a family member who's like a super pro union person, and they talk about all these great things that they've achieved. And then I've seen unions in government industries like completely stagnate work and like make things like really difficult. So it's a mixed bag, and it's hard for me to like give a definitive answer as to whether or not they're proactive or a downstream product. So sorry, I've not done a lot of union research.
All right, that's fine. I just curious. And then the second part is like I see like we talk about the culture war kind of in the context of like it's like trans issues or whatever, but I feel like there's like kind of like an online culture war in terms of like I don't know, a lot of like memes or like TikTok stuff, Instagram, a lot of the stuff that like especially younger people engage with. It feels like the humor, the comedy tends to skew like way more to the right. So like, do you think that like matters, and like how do you think we would combat that?
I think, I don't know if this is like a definitive, like all-encompassing thing, but right-wing talking points are way easier than left-wing talking points. I think the meme is like it's a left-wing meme and it's like 8 billion paragraphs, right? And so whatever the simple, funny joke is to make is going to be the salient one that goes through. So left-wingers can do this if they make, a good version of a left-wing meme, but usually they're got some crazy, more intelligent topic they're trying to, push through with a meme, and if they don't do it in a dumb, haha meme way, then it's lost on people. And right-wing talking points are like, Hillary's a dumb bitch, and you make a fucking meme about it, right? So it's inevitably always going to skew right, I think. And I don't know. I don't know how you fix that. Basically, yeah, if you want to win the meme war, you got to be funnier. And luckily, like right-wingers, at least conservatives, are not very funny. Unfortunately, far-right people are sometimes really funny. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So do you think we just have to like make up for that in like other ways, or do you think it doesn't like translate electorally, or?
I don't think it's got a big electoral factor, but it's not insignificant. And yeah, we just need to have funny people. I think Democrats, as they hire more Zoomers, they're getting a lot better at it. And they just need to keep doing it. Like the Gavin Newsom press room thing, it's gone great. Those like fucking kitty cat explains government shutdown, you know, like those work. As stupid as they are, like you got to start doing more of that. So, and we need more
All right.
edgy left-wing YouTubers like me who aren't afraid to say retard. Okay.
True. All right. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. Hey, I see Zeri. He's a, I don't know if it's a he or they, but they're in my chat. Maybe we could bring them up. He's
Yeah, okay.
Xeere.
Cortez, can you take care of that?
Yeah, for sure, I can do that. So
But Kush,
it's
you have a question?
Xeere.
Yeah, they're like the 7th person.
There we go.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th person. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'll make it pretty quick. I just wanted to ask you something real quick. So, Soypill, thank you for coming by. First off, I think you're pretty cordial for the most part. And even though I probably disagree with you on a lot of things, I just watched your video where you were mentioning, you showed your experience when you went to a Trump rally, right?
Yeah, which one?
Georgia,
Coachella, DC.
I don't know. I just looked at your YouTube and I was looking at like the top videos that you have. It was something they had like over 1 million. They had like over 1 million views. I don't know exactly which one.
That's the one, the Arizona, where I didn't really get any footage. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I was curious, like, just it sounds like you went to a couple. The reason why I'm asking is I've actually looked into other people who've had experiences. For example, there's foreigners who have took videos of themselves going to Trump rallies and thought that they would get like, you know, a bad reception, and they're actually showing how they were very, very much so the opposite, right? You know, they were kind of welcomed with open arms. People were really happy to have them around. They did not get the outcome that you received, right? So I guess I'm just asking, did you have any good experiences at other Trump rallies, or were all of your experiences negative?
Well, not all my experiences was negative in all the videos. You can see, like, basically, obviously, I think everyone there is a fucking moron, but they're not, like, evil people. A lot of these people are just, you know, people caught up in the rhetoric. They're nice. Maybe some of them, like, I think I shared water with some people, but some people, like, helped me out or just were friendly. Like, this happens. I don't know, like, why a foreigner would just expect to be shit on. I mean, like, Trump supporters, they don't just hate people for being foreign, although we're treading into that territory now where, like, they're like, hey, foreign people shouldn't be able to hold office. But there, you know, there's like coalitions of like the Japanese, pro-Japanese people for Trump who like came from Japan to just like, you know, they don't even vote. They just came to like support Trump, or the Vietnamese people did this as well. So I don't think there's like this, if you got like the left-wing straw man of like, yeah, if we see a fucking brown person, we're going to go get him. Like, yeah, obviously that's not happening. But my experience with these rallies is like, these people are fucking stupid. They're swept up in the horrible policies, and they're going to vote for really, really bad things. They're going to make our country worse, but they're not all evil. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to see if you had better experiences and they weren't just all negative. I was hoping you
No,
were
they
gonna be
weren't all
like, yeah,
negative. I would say a
all-
lot of these people are, you know, friendly, chatting, you know, amicable people in the personal day-to-day life. Especially if they think you have an agreement. They thought I was a Trump supporter until I said otherwise. But once they have anything else, then they're going to start getting more hostile, or they'll think that you're like a person who wants to steal their kids. And they make the country worse by voting for shitty fucking policies that hurt people. But they're not evil. I don't hate them. I can have total normal conversations with them.
Okay, cool. No, that's it. That's all I wanted.
Thanks for coming up.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so it's Ni, and then the Sierra guy can go. So Ni, you have the floor.
Okay.
So what is your question?
My question is this: do you think nihilism is self-refuting because its statement is life means nothing, but that's a belief in of itself, a belief to say there's nothing. You know what I mean?
I guess the real answer would be I don't care whether or not nihilism refutes itself. I think you can have nihilistic views that are valid, and you can have nihilistic views that are like, I think, make the world a worse place. maybe like that sounds like a logically cohesive argument, but yeah, I don't know. Does it really matter? That's my
Well,
I'm an anti-philosophy person. I don't hate philosophy, but like most of the
you know,
time,
like, okay.
I'm
Well,
like,
the only
what are we?
reason
Where are we going with like
I
what do we use? How do we apply this to the real world? And then people like get in
the,
these super deep thought experiments. But
because I don't want like nihilism like is associated with depression. You know, a belief in nothing can be liberating. Like, you know, that's what you could take at the hope pill
yeah, it's like
extent
Buddhists, right?
of
They believe that
yeah.
like I don't need material possessions and like nothing really matters and like I should just spread good, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
But then it go down. You could go down the path of despair because you're depressed. Because it's also attached with emotivism. You know what I mean? It's strongly correlated with like nihilistic tendencies. It's like when you look at existentialism, it's like look at it's like a baseline. It's like acid and base. It's like neutral at a 7 is existentialism. The extreme acidity, which is like a 1, would be nihilism. And then there's absurdism, which is the acceptance that yeah,
It's the Joker
we
moment.
believe you believe in nothing, but we can still derive some meaning to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Derive to that.
I guess I'm
Yeah.
probably more in like the 14 pH, nihilism scale of like, yeah, probably we all die, nothing matters, and there's no afterlife, and it all goes black. But like, we should enjoy our time. We should try to make it good for other people. And it doesn't really matter that it doesn't matter. What matters is what we do with the time we have. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Thanks for the question.
Okay, Seer, you have the floor. By the way, Nee, can you leave the stage? I can't do it on mobile.
What? Can I take the stage?
No. He was
How do
asking
I
someone
do
else.
that?
You're good. You're on. You're live.
Oh, okay, good.
How's it going?
Hi, so,
Long time chatter.
Yeah, I'm dedicated. It's 3 a.m. here. I'm actually up late because I've been iodine poisoned from eating too much seaweed, but that's
God,
unrelated.
Jesus. Drink some water.
Yeah, so I am a green for an amazing reason. The environment is a big issue for me. I notice a lot of mainstream politics, what they talk about is economic growth, with the main objective that they have obviously being that more growth is more better for more everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas the green position is more along the lines of that actually we can make people happier with what we've already got. We don't necessarily need to grow the economy, and actually consumption is at the moment too high.
Mhm.
And that the main reason economic growth happens to be people's main objective is more because they're sort of tricked into wanting that by the system of capitalism. And
Okay.
I'm wondering where you stand on the whole issue of growth.
I weirdly, a lot of people will bring up this thing of like capitalism is built on endless growth, and I think I don't know how true that is or like how that exactly manifests when you're talking about
Well,
like
imagine,
economics. But go ahead.
Imagine adverts on the TV, right? You turn the TV on every day, you see an advert for something. The advert is trying to make you want something, and in that sense, it's making you unhappy, and so it is creating a desire for economic growth. And if you think about it, it's the most propagandized ideology out there, because everywhere you go, you see growth, buy things, more stuff. And that's the sort of mechanism by which it grasps people.
Sure. And then I guess like the alternative is like, how do you allocate resources to people in a way that makes them happy and like want to consume and enjoy the world without advertising? Like this is, there's so many factors here. It's very hard to grasp, but I guess it's hard for me to say, because I'm a super big environmental person, and I've always had like similar to the way you described them, these thoughts growing up where I'm like, look at all this just crap we have. Look at all this crap in my fucking room that is just like why do I need individual wrappers on every fucking piece of candy? And this is going to go in a fucking landfill. This is ridiculous. Like this candy doesn't need to be made. I don't know how you solve this. And
I don't either, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm
I
like
just
a
think it needs to be more of a big
degrowther.
issue that people take
I do
into
think
account.
I do think it's a big issue. I think the only way this is going to happen is like you can't just be like, oh, capitalism is bad and we got to get rid of it. It has to be like, hey, here's this thing, climate change. It's happening because of the things that we do in society. We're not going to change. Like you want to say like, oh, it's hard to make the society vegan. You're never going to get a society that's like, hey, stop consuming. Like this is just not going to happen. So you have to address like
I
these
think
are
that's a negative view to take. Well, I think it's a negative view to take that we couldn't have a society that doesn't focus on material consumption.
No, I'm sure we could. What I'm saying is if you're going to get there, there are so many things that need to happen in between. Like, hey, look at how climate change is going to kill millions of people and get us to start affecting that differently. And like, okay, like let's turn our consumption culture down a bit. You know, like maybe we ration or we don't like make as much useless shit, or maybe we close down some of these factories that are reliant on like plastic goods. Like there are ways to get there. And it's not impossible. That is my like, Star Trek utopia, like that I'd love to live in, but I don't think we can market it as like degrowthing or like don't consume or like just don't do things, because that's just never gonna be salient enough. Even though I am 100% sympathetic to that, I would love if everyone just did less and everyone lived way below their means. But yeah, I don't think it's
I
gonna
think
happen.
it can be a salient message because consumption really doesn't make people happy. People would be happier if they consume less. I think for the most part. It's a sort of a cycle of desire, like they say in Buddhism.
It could be. I just don't know how you get everyone on board with this. So I think it's very pie in the sky to like jump from where we are to that.
That's why I'm bringing it up. Advocate, proselytize.
I'm going to be the anti-consumer guy that makes the YouTube video that changes the world. Maybe that'd be nice, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm very. If you want to talk about doom pilled, I'm so doom pilled on like consumption and like the way that just humans operate. I don't know how we get there in a way that's fast enough before society
Banning
breaks down.
adverts would be a good start.
Yeah, but then there's so much that only works because we're able to advertise. It's hard to not have those. Like maybe if we had a society that was completely based on word of mouth,
Yeah,
that
because if you
could
think
work,
about it,
but
if adverts provide people with valuable information, they'd be willing to pay for that, just purely from a market perspective. So you'd have like Which magazine? Do you have Which in America? Like consumer magazines and whatnot that people would buy essentially with adverts in them, but from a more objective standpoint.
So you're saying like advertising exists, but like everything's in like a catalog and you can choose whether or not to engage with it.
Well, it wouldn't be advertising per se because it would be an independent person recommending a product rather than the company advertising to you.
Yeah, but like idealistically, that's never going to work, right? Because you're going to get influencers like me, and advertisers will go to them and pay them to advertise the product, regardless
That
of
would be
whether or
illegal.
not they actually want and like it. Well, how do you litmus test? How do you thought police whether or not the guy actually likes and recommends the product, or if they're
Well, you
like,
just can't get paid by them. You have to be paid by the person
Oh,
you're talking
okay.
to.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, again, I think this is super idealistic, but I probably agree with you in principle. I just don't know if that's ever going to be a thing that happens.
Oh, and did you say earlier that you were going vegan?
Yeah, I'm going vegan this year.
Recommendation: buy a pressure cooker because you can do in them dry beans very quickly without having to like soak them overnight. And dry beans are like crack for vegans. I love dry beans. I've got 3 jars of dry beans in front of me, 4 even.
Okay.
One of them's a soy jar as well, so it's on
Alright,
topic.
cool. Yeah, no, I'm going to have a lot of effort put into transitioning to get the same like 200 grams of protein a day I eat if it's not meat. So a lot of beans, a lot of legumes, a lot of soy, a lot of tempeh, a lot of everything. So yeah, thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah,
Let's hope we don't lose. Let's hope you don't lose that body you're known for. That sounds okay.
We'll see. I know there's a lot of vegan bodybuilders that can make it happen. I just have to be really meticulous.
So next up is for the VC. It's called Max Buddy.
That's me. Hello. So, the soy pill. You are unfortunately a YouTuber.
Yes.
And
I
I've been
apologize.
watching a lot of your videos. You need to. I'm revoking my membership after that apology.
Damn.
So, a lot of your videos, like the Elon Musk is racist video and the Donald Trump is innocent video, at the very least they seem like you did a lot of research for them. How exactly do you go about doing research for like those videos? And more importantly, on that note, are you Linux pilled yet?
I used Linux at work when I was a software engineer, and I like it. I don't like how often it fucking breaks and I have to reset shit because I, typed the wrong command or some bullshit. But I get why people like it. I just want everything to be streamlined, not so streamlined as a Mac, but streamlined enough that like I can figure it out and finagle it if I want to, but I don't want it to be like baby's first fucking computer like Mac's work. Although you can have Linux on a Mac.
With Apple Silicon Macs, no, with the Apple Silicon Macs, their technology is so specific you can't.
Oh,
outside
okay.
of like Asahi Linux, but it sucks.
Got it. Well, anyway, on the YouTube thing, like how much research I do, it depends. So
And how?
I'm always like inspired to make a video based on something, right? So something happens and I'm like, that pisses me off. I want to talk about it, or I'm very passionate about that topic. So, for example, I'm back and forth on making a video on climate change. And when I do this, usually the research that I do has to like either directly be involved with the thing I'm responding to, because I'm probably not going to explain the entirety of climate change. So if I see a right-winger saying something fucking stupid, then I'm going to go research and like try to read papers, whether that's like articles from like trusted sources or like Google Scholar, and see like, okay, like where did this come from? Is it corroborated? Is it peer reviewed? But like for the Elon video, right? Like, yeah, okay, there's like a 40-minute video where I did a lot of research, but like so much of it is like, I know what I want to say already. And everything that I research is post hoc, like, let me double check and make sure that I have this right. Like maybe I heard this in a headline or read an article, but like I'm not sure. And there will be things that I totally cut because I'll have this idea of what did happen or how a thing works, and then I'll go look it up and be like, oh, that's just not even fucking true. And I throw it out. So yeah, I guess I literally just Google stuff and I like read articles and I start going down rabbit holes and seeing like, okay, is that true? Okay, maybe I need to research that topic a little more, until I feel like the script that I had that was the thing I already wanted to say is either justified or needs to be completely changed or modified to include like the empirical reality that may or may not contradict it. I hope that answers the question. It's complicated, I guess. Google and then rabbit holes. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Also, Linux Mint is easier to use than Windows. Sorry, Windows breaks more. Sorry, it's die mad. Anyway, that's it.
Don't make me use a command line to fucking use a computer, right? Like, I don't want to type.
Okay, Linux Mint is less terminal-based than Windows when you consider you have to debloat it. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Hold on, I have a super chat. I'm going to mute and read it real quick. Metalworks for the $5. Thank you. If you want to cut down on emissions, got to invest in clean energy, innovation, renewables, and nuclear power. Yep, that's basically what I think is the path forward, but I'm not sure if we're ever going to do it. And we got rid of all our nuclear power plants, and Germany fucking gutted them, and I don't know, fuck. We need to improve batteries too. All right, I'm back.
I just want to ask, since Darkmaster asking DMs, but how long did you want to go for? It's up to you.
I can go another 15 minutes. I got to finish this video for my members and patrons tonight. So yeah, 15 minutes, maybe 20. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question that's not political.
Okay.
Have you read Tarzan of the Apes, the first novel that introduces Tarzan?
No, I've only seen the movie and I barely remember it.
Well, I would highly recommend. Do you have Audible?
I do.
From you should try to buy the audiobook of Tarzan of the Apes. There, it's really good. I remember listening to it last year, and it really blew me away. It inspired me.
Okay.
It's completely different from the movie and everything.
I would assume. Yeah. Disney usually changes a lot.
Yeah, in this novel, it's like a product of its time, of course. Edgar Rice was known for being very high on eugenics and all that, but that was the product of its time. And there's a lot of quote unquote outdated words to describe people of color.
Yeah.
But that's just how it was back then. But it's a really great adventure story. Again, I recommend.
Okay.
Another quick question I want, and this is really quick. Do you speak any other languages aside English, of course?
I used to know a lot more Spanish in school, and I speak German because I lived there for a while and I've been practicing. So
I know some German and some Japanese and French and all that.
Nice.
It's learning languages is a fun pastime with me. Okay.
Can we get? I guess
So-
I see at least half a dozen people with their hands up. If we could just try to speed through them, I'd feel bad if they were just here the whole time. I know this guy with his shirt off, Dandy. I've seen his hand up. Let's get him in here.
Okay, let me get him up here. I was gonna go with some text chat though, because I want to
no
like
more
keep
text.
things
All
like.
VC.
Okay, well then let me just get a bunch of people up here.
Get a bunch of people up here. Yeah, every question
get some
asked at the
turns.
same time.
No, they'll have to take turns, otherwise.
Okay.
Well. Okay, Dandy. You go first.
Who goes first?
Dandy, if he wants to
No, mate, I
accept.
can facilitate it if there's a few people in here. I don't mind.
Oh wait, he clicked deny on accident. Let me just do it again here.
I kind of fill in the time real quick while you're filling up the stage.
Okay,
Oh.
Dandy, you go, then Popcoach, and then Citizen, and then Swart.
Hey, thanks for accepting me. Okay, so I have one question. So with the obvious push of neo-fascism in the US of A, and the clear pipeline that leads young males from online spaces to those that lead them, spaces, bigotry, and ideology push. Sorry, I can say that if you need to.
I didn't get the question. What?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like I didn't hear the question. It sounded like you're describing the neo-fascist pipeline and these like masculine things that.
Oh yeah, and these bigoted ideologies that are pushed in those spaces.
Okay,
and as a content creator that operates in online spaces that stream like Twitch and YouTube, where things like Gamergate audience members are funneled from, what do you think people can do to help lead these misguided youth away from these online spaces where Nazi ideology can be implanted and then normalized?
Yeah, I mean, if you start the problem with so many of these ideologies is like they start in some basis of reality. Like if you look at incels, when they say people get treated better because of how they look, that's just true, right? Their prescriptions are crazy, where it's like, oh, and this is why like women will never love me, and there's nothing I can do, it's over. But if you pick up on those same grievances like at the beginning and you can lead them into your movement as well, I think that's what you have to do. So if it's people that are upset that I don't know, video games are too woke, really like what you do is you address the fact that like there's a lot of shitty corporate slop video games getting put out, and whether or not they're woke is not why they're good. They're bad because they're badly written, they're bad because they're rushed, they're bad because they're just not good games, like the development is not good, and like whether or not there's like a black woman in it is never going to be why the game is good or bad. If it's an amazing game and it's got like some fucking blue-haired feminist as the protagonist, everyone would fucking love it. And you just have to pick up on those like the little things, the true things that are maybe legitimate grievances, and then work them towards like the better obvious like worldview and conclusion. Yeah.
I think that's actually a very good answer. It's just something I've noticed, being in online spaces and everything, and kind of seeing some of the
Real quick, because we only have such a slow time, you need to like make it quick so all people can get their chance.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
No, thank you. That was great. Thank you.
Okay, so Popcoach, your turn.
Yeah. Do you support Kamala Harris? I'm just curious.
I did.
You did? What made you stop, I guess?
Well, she's not running for president anymore, but if she runs again and she's the person in the general, I'll support her again, yeah.
Are you familiar with the Jamal True Love case in San Francisco?
This sounds familiar.
So it's the same thing that Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her on stage during the debates when she was saying that she was guilty of pretty much wrongfully convicting a black man.
Okay.
Does that ring any bells?
This sounds familiar. I remember this from the debate. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'm from the Bay Area.
Yeah, me too. What's up? What
Nice,
city?
nice.
Wait, what
San
city?
San Jose.
Okay.
It is the
You're
Bay.
in the clear. You're in the clear. That's still the Bay. All right.
It is the Bay, yes. So Kamala Harris, the Jamal True Love case, what happened was
Wait. Let's cut to the chase. Do you think I shouldn't support her for specifically this thing?
Well, I think it's a judgment of her character if she wrongfully convicted a black man and had knowledge that he was not in fact guilty and paid a witness $60,000 plus housing to be able to say a statement.
Okay. So if it's in the general and I'm like, if everything you said was true and I'm weighing against Trump, she's still better. If she's being weighed up in the primary against other candidates and there's someone with better policies or the same policies but not this blemish, I would not vote for her. I would vote for the other person. So
cool. That's fair. I'll take that.
Okay,
That's it.
cool. Thank you.
I don't know why, but Sword left. So.
Oh, can we
I'm just
get
gonna-
get Rosh up here? He's my number one Twitter reply
we
guy.
we could bring them back. I actually, sorry, I moved the people down that were not.
Yeah. So bring Sword up again for me.
Yeah, we can bring them back up. All right.
hear me?
Ask your question.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Ask your question, please.
I just have a question about, do you think the world is moving towards like more smaller states based on like independence movements around the world, or do you think we're kind of getting into like bigger like structures, like now like Russia's really big, China has like a lot of regions that were historically
Definitely
not
the
part of
second
China.
one. We're moving more towards like a global like unity thing. I think the more we rely on one another, I think these state lines are gonna start fading away in the same way. You know, Germany used to be like 80 billion jillion states, and now it's one. European Union is forming. I think as these things, like, you know, you're getting like this Brexit thing, and you're getting these fluctuations. But I think ultimately, like as we move forward, we're gonna just be so connected. There's gonna be fewer and fewer and fewer countries.
Alright, that was basically my whole question. So thank you.
Right on. Well, I'm also not an expert, so take that with a grain of salt. But thank you.
Yeah, let's keep it coming. I'm just trying to move people back to the audience. So it
Can
doesn't
you
get too
can you guys just bring some people up here? I'm doing some stuff here behind. Plus, I'm really tired right now. It's like
Yeah,
almost
we
like
can-
it's almost like 5 in the morning for me.
we can bring more people up. Yes.
Yeah, bring them up. Get Rosh. I see Rosh in here. I know Rosh is gonna have some question. I don't know if it'll be a good one, but it'll be a question for sure.
All right. We'll take this person first. What's your question?
Hello. Sorry, I'm nervous. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think bad faith means in your mind? And like when you're in conversations online, how do you like detect in your personal way of like when someone is being openly bad faith when you're talking to them?
Yeah, it's when they're like leading you down a path or asking questions or like making an argument that they don't really believe, but they want to like make you say a certain thing, or they're not really going to give you the time of day if you have any sort of like valid argument. They're not engaging in a way they're like, oh, like if you made a point that they actually agreed with, they would just never grant that to you. If you like were starting to lead them down a path that like could make them look bad, even if they know it's logically consistent, they'll interrupt you. So like they're not going into the conversation to have that conversation and flesh out an idea. They're either there to clip you, they're there to steamroll you. Like there's just no intention to have a legitimate debate. There's no intention to concede anything. It's all optics. It's all bullshit. So that's kind of how I view it, but I'm sure there's better definitions.
Yeah, I just wanted to also thank you before I go that you really helped me start working out, and like
Hell yeah.
I really got inspired by you.
Hey,
and you're
every
my
time you
favorite,
guys come with these fucking comments, it makes me feel so good because that's like my intention when I made that video. I was like, I really hope all this stuff helped me. If I can help at least one person with it. So every time I get those comments, I feel fucking amazing. This makes my day. So thank you for letting me know, and I hope it goes well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, let's get Rosh up.
I will not rest until everyone is fucking huge.
That sounded gay.
Rosh, do you work out?
No, but
Kick
I'm
Rosh.
starting to.
Kick Rosh. Get him out. No, don't kick Rosh. What's up?
I'm just gonna cut to the case word because I know your time is precious. So I've been doing a little bit of thinking, and I was wondering, I wanted to ask you this in particular, is that how do we as progressives, social democrats, liberals, what have you, win elections in the US? Because and also how can we progressive overseas and internationally help support other progressives. Because the thing I've been noticing so is that internationally, the far right has been organizing particularly very well. And I know we had this progressive movement conference or whatever, like recently, but I was wondering what can we do more to help spread our progressive ideals and
Yeah, I mean, like
whether it's like something
basically,
democratic.
if progressives and if they latch on, people call it, slopulism, but if they actually are able to latch on to narratives that are going to promote, what the general person is upset about. So you look at a Graham Plattner, for all his faults, for all the terrible fucking judgment he's had, Maine chose him. And if he can do that, I think progressives can do similar things in districts or states that are struggling with that same stuff. So as long as you have ideas that are can be borne out and actually work, and you can promise these things and deliver by forming bigger progressive coalitions and working with even you could say bipartisan, or even just like with Democrats who might not be as progressive, I think you can win elections. And I think you can just don't lie to people, just like promise what you're trying to advocate for, which might be Medicare for all or something like that. But in terms of across the seas, look at all these like influencers that blew Trump up that are not even fucking American. There's Canadian influencers, there's UK, there's like what's his name, Constantine, like trigonometry people. Like if you believe in progressivism, just because you can't vote doesn't mean you can't promote it. It doesn't mean you can't like retweet your favorite progressive candidates, share their fundraisers, like promote the influencers that are progressive. I think whatever you're doing, which is showing up in my chat all the time, and I'm not not to glaze myself, but it's like, yeah, if you're promoting me, like that's promoting progressivism. So that's you don't have to live in a place to try to influence it. And American politics are the only ones that matter. So it's good that you're paying attention to American politics.
Yes. I mean, I kind of have to because our petrol prices go up way up because of the whole war in Iran. So, and you already know that my country was doing like negotiations. They invited Americans and Iran to our capital. So
yeah,
there's that.
Yeah.
Also,
Unfortunately,
just
we
to add-
affect everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But also to add to your point in the US, I think you guys can also apply the Zoran model, which I like to call it, because Zoran.
Yeah, maybe. He's
now I
not
understand-
nationwide popular, but I think that might work depending on where you are and what you're actually promising.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So just to clarify on that is that what I mean is that you connect progressive ideas to local issues, and you try to reach out to new to people using new media in ways that are inventive and and actually connect with people. That's what I mean by the Zoran model, because you don't have to copy Zoran 100%, because copying Zoran is just gonna lead to less cooler Zoran. So you have to be savvy and have to be able to speak to the people using local culture touch points and building up broad coalitions.
yeah. All right. I can't wait for you to AstroTurf the next American campaign from the UK.
Actually, that's why I went back to Pakistan. So I'm in Pakistan right now.
Oh, you're back in Pakistan. Okay, well, wherever you are, it's not America, and that's all that I care about. There's two places. It's America and not
that's true.
America. All right, well, stay safe, buddy.
True.
Good to talk. I'll see you in chat and Twitter and everywhere else. What say we get through the last 7 people that like have their hands up now? I don't want to like leave anyone hanging. Although I do see one person who definitely already asked a question. So the first 7 hands up, I think. Could we do that?
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, could we just like I see like 7 hands up. I'm down to go through them and then go. I got to go finish my vid. So
Okay, so we'll just let's do all of them here then.
yeah, bring them all up at the same time. Do it.
You can go to like someone else first. I've already been up, yeah. And then like if there's time at the end, you can come back to me. I'll just.
All right.
Oh, okay.
First is I can't see anyone's name. I'm in streamer mode, so you just like whatever. Like start picking people, Mr. Moderator.
Carlos Agarn, okay, go. Carl.
Oh, you were in chat. What's up?
I was a little bit baggy, but I have a very important question. If you were 5 inches in Elon Musk and Trump is 5 inches in you, which way are you moving?
Which one am I moving? Well, Elon would be easier to move. Well, so Trump has a small mushroom wiener, according to Stormy Daniels, so I would assume it'd be easier for me to go forward and like immediately pop off of him and like kind of push Elon away because I want to push him. So I guess I'd move forward. Yeah.
All right. I like that answer. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, all that begging for that one. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's Doya Mutt.
All right, hello.
Hello.
This is kind of a quick question because I don't have like much to say about it, but I just wanted to ask your opinions on Black nationalism and whether you think it's like too reactionary or not, and like how far do you think you're willing to go with people who have those sorts of beliefs in terms of like reverse segregation and whatnot.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I'm not for
black-only
reverse
spaces.
segregation. Black only spaces, like the concept of them isn't foreign to me insofar as it's like, hey, we want to talk about a thing that is affecting all black people and we're trying to make this focused as a conversation of black people talking about it. Like that idea of like a safe space for black people, I don't think that's like segregation really. But yeah, if it's like the fucking, hey, let's form our own cities and like re-segregate, like I guess it seems pretty ridiculous and counterintuitive. Yeah. Why? Do I accidentally work with some that I don't know about?
No, I just wanted to, I don't know, some leftists do seem kind of opposed to it or think that like the idea of black nationalism is like too reactionary or not, and I just wanted to
Sounds
ask a
pretty
simple question.
reactionary. I'm not a fan. I'll say that off the top of my head, but maybe I could be convinced to be a segregationist. We'll see, I guess.
All right, I think that's it.
All right, well, thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
Yeah, you too.
And now it's the person with the anime PFP with a name I can't pronounce.
That
It's
is
Yaron.
Yaron.
Can I shamelessly exploit you for advice on my own career again?
Again? Well, I guess you've already done it,
Yeah,
so
I
go
think I've
ahead.
done it once before, I think, in your chat.
Sure.
So I'm going into engineering.
Don't do it. All
don't
right,
do
that's
it.
my advice. No, go ahead.
Don't do it. My plan is to get a bachelor's in nuclear right off the bat because that's the field I want to get
Okay,
into
okay.
in general. In the current job market, do you think it's better to like do mechanical and then go into a master's program, or I know you were in aerospace. I don't know how much you know about nuclear in specific.
We
but I was
didn't
curious
touch on
if-
it at all, so I can't tell you whether or not you should switch majors. If it sounds like are you in the bachelor's program for nuclear engineering?
Yeah, or I will be in.
Yeah,
the
let's
fall.
just stay in that because it's like, okay, maybe you learn more specific things, but in my experience, like aerospace was just mechanical plus. It was mechanical plus specific classes that were more, like half of my undergrad was with the mechanical engineers, and then towards the end, I would start like deviating into the more specifics. So if you know that you want to be a nuclear engineer and you don't really care about your, viability of trying to move into other industries, like you're going to not use half the stuff you learn anyway. So you might as well specifically learn as much as you can about the thing you know you're going to get into. And then if you need the master's for whatever job you want, maybe do it. There's probably a bunch of programs that are going to be like, hey, like come work for us for a few years. We'll train you. And then we'll also pay for your master's when we send you back to school. So I'd say probably just stick in that. Major. It's probably, you don't need to be more generic. There's no reason to.
That's cool. And the last thing is, how do you feel about the suspicious evidence that Stephen Miller is the Antichrist?
Antichrist is such a heavy insult, it's got to be like he's like literally the worst person in the world. I think Stephen Miller is disgusting and, like the Democrats said, ugly. Antichrist, I wouldn't go that far. You got to save that for like the end to bringer, even Trump's not the Antichrist. It's got to be like I don't know, like just like
Jeffrey Epstein.
No, see, he's dead, right? Like he can't be the Antichrist. It's gotta like
They're supposed to be charismatic. Stephen Miller's not charismatic.
Right. They'll be like wrapped in like they'll present themselves as like good, but they're actually bad. Maybe it's
My brother tried to make the case that Trump was the Antichrist because he says he's charismatic, but he's not.
He is
He's just a
charismatic.
shitposter.
No,
I think
he's
he's more of a
charismatic.
shitpost than charismatic.
If he didn't have
Maybe to
horrible
some people.
policies, I would be very endeared to him, and I already am. I'm endeared to him despite everything. I still
It's
think
very
he's
fun
funny.
to watch.
But
It'd be way funnier if I didn't live here.
yes, I agree. It's we're gonna look back and say, ha ha ha, remember that guy who made everyone's life horrible, but also look at that fucking great post he did about Diet Coke. So
Thank you for your time.
thank you for coming up. Good luck in your engineering.
Mars, it's your turn, and do keep it quick.
Sounds good. Hi, welcome to veganism. Can't wait for your video.
Hell yeah.
there's plenty of people that are like sympathetic or understand or convinced of veganism, but they don't feel that individual change is like enough. Well, how do you see these people? What do you say to these people? And do you address this in your future video?
They don't see. Are these vegans who don't think individual change is enough, or people don't want to be vegan because they don't think they'll make a difference?
Yeah, the latter.
Basically, yeah. My take on this, and I'll address it in the video, is like, so what? Like, does one vote ever change the election? No. Does that mean you shouldn't do it? Absolutely. Like, you should still do it. If everyone had slaves, if you said, I'm going to free one slave, would that make the world a better place? Yes. So it doesn't matter if you're going to change everyone, if you're going to stop factory farming. What matters is that you yourself are making the best impact on the world you can, and you're going to convince other people to do that. And that's how movements happen. That's how societies change. Sometimes it's a big inciting incident. Sometimes it's little by little, but there's no reason why you should participate in bad behavior just because everyone else does. It's going to make it easier. It's going to make it more normal, but you should still try to be the best person you can be. So that's kind of my argument to that.
Yeah, agreed. Sounds good. Thank you.
Misil, it's your turn again. Remember, keep it quick.
Okay. So like people define veganism often as like reducing your harm onto animals as much as you can, right? So like in the UK, our banknotes have animal fats in them, so it's literally impossible to be perfectly vegan. You have
Unless
to
you go full
somewhat-
digital.
Okay, fine. Okay. But
Never
even
pay
then,
in
like,
cash. Don't go to the strip club.
Right. But even like eating, right? Like even vegan foods have some impact on animals. So being a vegan bodybuilder, eating a calorie surplus, eating more than you actually need, is there some conflict? You know,
Yeah,
are you causing
there-
unnecessary
There
suffering?
are going to be. This is like the zero-sum game thing where, have you ever seen The Good Place?
Yeah,
And I think it's
Think that-
Jeffrey Lithgow or whatever plays like the guy who has done literally nothing wrong. Like he lives away from society and he's like, I don't like, even harm a snail. And he's like perfectly self-sustaining. He doesn't consume. Like this is obviously probably the best technically, ethically, but there's always going to be trade-offs. And I think like eating a small caloric surplus is not going to be the difference between a big thing versus stopping all consumption of meat and advocating for that is huge. And like, I think I have an even huger responsibility to do that now that I have a platform. I think that's more important. But this is one of those things where like someone can tell me, hey, don't say retard because this is an ableist slur and this hurts people in this utility way. And you're not getting more utility by using it than you are by hurting these people. And I might say, this might be true. And I might be able to listen and hear out these arguments, but not right now. This is like, this is like the let's get rid of all the fucking, horrible, awful things in the world. And that's when we can start policing ourselves because we're all just so loving and progressive, right? But I just don't think that's the world that I live in now where I'm going to make such a huge difference by not using this one specific slur that's super fun to say. But I don't know. I'm totally open to being canceled about this now and in the future. So
That's fair. But the question is, do the muscles justify the even small amount of
I
suffering?
think we're going to
That's
cut it here
unnecessary.
because
well, you can take them off, but I'll answer the question, which is maybe. If me having muscles makes me happy enough to operate in my life the way I do, if it makes people take me more seriously, even if I disagree with the weird fascist like aesthetics politics, and that actually makes people more vegan, if it allows me to just like lead a happier life because it makes me feel more confident and that allows me to make more videos that influence more people. Maybe. I don't know how you measure these things. But also the caloric surplus I'm eating is like anywhere between 800 to 1,000 calories, which is not that much. I don't move a lot. And so my bulk is like 2,500 calories and my cut is like 1,600. So it's not nearly so much as like someone who's eating like 6,000 calories a day, which I think there's a stronger argument there and you're not wrong to bring it up.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Thanks for the question.
Thank you for your time.
We got
Okay, so this is
two more,
your
three more?
turn. Yeah, only two. Only this
cool.
guy.
We
Only
can do
these
it.
two.
We can do it.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dried beans guy, how excited he was. That's your future. Hope you're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
No, the last
Dried
thing I
beans
wanted
are
to
probably
ask,
delicious. I love beans.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to ask was at some point you said if all that stuff had really happened, the January 6th people would be justified, right? Considering most of those people were actually brainwashed into thinking all of that stuff did happen, right? In their reality, then it was justified. So then are you saying that it was justified, like their thought process, everything they did was actually justified?
In their own logical like fake reality, yeah. That doesn't mean
Right, but
that
it's
doesn't
not,
excuse
their
that doesn't
reality's
excuse
not fake. Their
well,
reality's not fake. It's real.
it is
to
fake.
them.
It doesn't match up with reality. They're delusional. But like in the same way, if I thought I had fire ants all over my arms because I was doing meth and I was trying to scrape them off, and in doing so, I've delusionally ripped all my skin off. But in my head, I'm getting rid of the fire ants, and I should be getting rid of the fire ants, right? Like this doesn't justify the actions. It doesn't mean the actions are good. It doesn't mean the outcome of the actions are good. But yeah, in their own head, they were just like, it makes sense why they did this. They thought the election was stolen because they were lied to. Yeah, like whether or not that means it's okay is a completely different story, though.
About what I said earlier, I don't think you're thinking through the consequences of calling for people to be worse. It's not like we're gonna get there and then be like, okay, now everyone stop, be nice to everyone now. It's like, no, once you open the floodgates, there's not a button you're gonna press that's gonna turn all this bullshit off, right? So really think about what you're encouraging people to do and what the outcomes look like that later on.
But
either way,
haven't the
enjoy
floodgates already
meetings.
been opened? Isn't that kind of
Haven't the floodgates already been? Again, that's like when Roger Stone was here and I asked him the question about, why he decided to say that, the best way to go about politics is hurting the other person. He said, oh, the world's just like that already. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, it's funny because
right?
he did.
You're actually
stop
saying the
the
exact
steal.
same thing you're actually saying the exact same thing Roger Stone did. So
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
shouldn't
if that
do it
makes you
every
think at
time we
all.
can. I get what you're saying too. And I try to advocate for not doing it as much as we can until it becomes the only option, which I don't know when that happens, and it's definitely not now. So
All right, enjoy the beans though.
thank
Good
you.
luck.
I'll eat so many beans.
Okay, last one is Jameen.
All right.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we
I
can hear you.
can.
Hey, what's going on? So I've been watching for a long time.
Thank you.
And yeah. So me and you have the same views on religion.
Okay.
So my question is, how do I go about talking to people about it without sounding like bigoted? And honestly, I know that
That's what
it gets to a
agnosticism
point
is.
where-
Agnosticism
Yeah,
is
but-
the coward's atheism. It's, maybe you are right, and I don't know what it is, and, maybe it doesn't make sense to me, but maybe you could sell it to me, but then you're like, what do I really believe? And the answer is, I think this is all bullshit, and, like, there's no reason you should believe one religion over the other, and, like, you just have all these, like, weird self-fantasy delusional things, and I think they're all dumb, and if you don't want to sound bigoted, you say you're agnostic, and you say, well, who can say? Who could say? I don't know, maybe you're right. That's kind of how you do it. It's just kind of like play coy.
But how do I go about saying like I'm actually anti-religion? Because I know I've heard
Well,
you say
can't
that
do,
before.
You can't do
and-
that and not be bigoted. That's literally bigoted, but it's based on
So you're just fine, just saying it.
yeah, I'm
straight
just
up?
like, look, your arguments are so bad for justifying this religion. I don't care if I look like a bigot. You just look stupid to me. I think it's insane that you justify any action that you take based on a thing that is completely contingent on who your parents were, where you were born. You don't believe this thing because of any good, like, logical reason. You cannot logic me into a religion. It's just fucking stupid, unless you, like, use some stupid Pascal's wager thing. So, yeah, I'm totally okay with people being like, you're bigoted for not liking religion. Yep, sorry. I just think there's no, like, good way to be religious. I'm sorry.
Right.
There are good ways to be religious. I don't think there's a good reason to believe in religion. Like,
No, I don't think there's any good way. 'Cause
Well,
I
no,
mean,
no. I mean, like,
even-
there's
'cause
lots of
even
good in
with
the
their
world from
religions-
religion. But if you're doing it for the wrong reason, like, is it still bad? Like, if you're feeding the homeless because you think that's what God wants you to do, that's good. I just think the reasoning is dumb, right?
No, but there's so many bigoted things in these religions. Like so many of them are just like super anti, gay, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So like
I
I
would
don't
say
understand
that
how people could go up to me and like hand me like religious pamphlets or something. But if I go up to them and I'm like here's why you shouldn't believe, then it's a problem.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't like that. It's like, oh, how dare you try to, like, convert them out of religion? I think I agree. The idea that you're doing it for the wrong reason, that's the problem I have with that is not that you're feeding the homeless. It's, if this is your reasoning for feeding the homeless, you could just as easily do something bad if you believe that that's what religion prescribed and that you should do it. And really, what we should be all doing is, like, evaluating how our actions affect others and whether or not this is a good thing. And if you try to navigate and make new choices based on that, it's probably going to be better than, what does this book say that was written thousands of years ago? So that's why I think the religion's bad. But that doesn't mean you can't have good religious people. It just means that ultimately I'm going to question your way of thinking and your thought process and how you come to conclusions if you are religious. And I prefer if no one was. I'd prefer if everyone just analyzed, like, the outcomes and made the right choices based on that. But yeah,
Sorry, and do you think that goes for every religion? I think I've heard someone ask you that question before.
I mean, some are going to be.
I feel
it
like
depends on how dogmatic a person is. If they're Buddhists, they could be like a fucking radical cultist Buddhist. I know there are radical Buddhist cult, and they could be the kind that are just like, I just want everyone to be happy. They could be like Unitarian, which is literally like atheist or agnosticism plus, or they could be like, let's fucking Crusades 3 or Crusades 4 or whatever, you know? Like, yeah, it really depends.
But what I mean is like a lot of leftists are like really quick to criticize Christians, you know. But like
Right,
when
yeah,
it comes to like
it's like
other
instead of
religions,
Islam
you
or
know,
whatever,
they have
they
a
don't do
real
it.
yeah.
So
They
like
don't want to criticize.
people always use this to be like, oh, it's because they're bigoted against Christians and they love giving a pass to Islam. It's like, no, it's because like Islam doesn't have like a stranglehold over our government, and Islam does not is not pervasive in American culture. And I think if you had leftists in fucking Iran, it would be the exact opposite. They probably do exist, and I'm just ignorant of it, right? But like Christianity is the religion of the, you know, America's past that has enforced so many of our crazy Puritan laws. It's what a lot of our lawmakers believe and make them say ridiculous, stupid shit about abortion. So it's like, oh, why are they focusing so much on Christianity? Because it's the biggest one. Like I am an equal opportunity anti-religious person, but obviously different ones are going to have different effects that, you know, affect me negatively. Christianity happens to be the greatest one now. But if I was in fucking, you know, Tower 2, South Tower during 9/11, I'd be like, fucking Islam, man. You know, like, I don't know. It depends on the scenario. So.
Right. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry for all my audience is getting cringed because I'm atheist hat tipping, and I used to think it was too cringe, you know, but now that the religious people,
we're both like atheist redditors.
now
bro,
that
yeah, for
the
sure.
religious people are getting really comfortable saying, you know, fuck gay people and let's like put religion
Yeah,
back
exactly.
in schools.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
like,
I'm
you know
saying.
what?
Like Ted
No,
Cruz, you see what he tweets out.
bring back the fucking fedoras. We're hat tipping. We're parkouring. We're getting these people the fuck out of the fucking power. Like I hate this shit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I think that's it.
All
But
right. Well, thanks for hosting. That was great.
I want to thank you, Soy Pill. By the way, you didn't inspire me, but like I'm also working out a lot, and I've actually seen
Can I
a lot of
just say
progress in
something?
the last like month. Let me just go.
Sorry.
So like, thank you again for like coming onto this AMA, and thank you for responding within like a day. It was really glad.
Yeah,
This
thanks
is
for
like my
reaching
first
out.
event, and I think I did a lot. I think
Yeah,
I did
other than
a
those
good
hiccups
job
at the
like,
beginning, you did an amazing job moderating, and I assume that was just you gave too many people mod permission, so I don't even blame you. That's just gonna happen in a server with this many people. So
Yeah, I do apologize though for like the gay lesbian thing. That was not
it didn't
really nice.
sound pejorative. It was fine. I didn't even think any of it. But now you're being too defensive. Maybe you do just hate gays and lesbians, but it's Pride Month, so everyone's gay right now. So
I mean, hey, if someone could take that out of context and like cancel me in 10 years, I don't know. But thank you again. And by the way, when you have time, it doesn't have to be now. I added you to a DM group to do that whole
yeah, I
like
saw.
debate.
We'll schedule something. I got some shit to do today, but I'll definitely respond.
Yeah, it's just take your time.
All right. Thank you very much.
But thank you again for your time.
Yeah, and then someone else wanted to ask something. Grotesque, maybe.
Yeah. Go first, Grotesque.
You're hiding something under your hat. I feel like there's something under there. It's like if it's a hairline or something.
It's a hat hair because
Mm.
it's been on for so long. Now I got
Hairline.
helmet hair, hat hair, but no, I don't. I just wear it for the fun of it. Like I don't. I guess so. I pull it real back. I have like a bad hairline, kind of. I don't know. No, no, I'm not hiding anything. When I
It's
go
just
bald,
part
I
of the
probably
answer.
won't wear the hat because it'll seem like I'm insecure. I don't want it to look like an insecure thing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for doing the event with us. You are welcome back anytime, of course. Hopefully you found our community helpful with some of
It was
the
fun. I was
interesting
expecting
and
way
weird
worse,
questions.
so
It can happen, but a lot of times, like, it's sort of mixed. Be chill, get some like very sweaty debate bros, but
well, I'm a sweaty debate bro
yeah.
right now because it's so fucking hot in this room. So, all right, yeah.
I mean,
thanks,
I
man.
do get excited for eventually when that whole debate thing with Rico can happen because
Yeah, it'll
now
be fun.
that's where like the big money is going to happen.
All right, cool.
So anyway,
Well, looking
that's
forward to
it.
it. All right,
Yeah.
I'm
Well, thank you for
gonna
your
head
time.
out, talk to my chat, and go finish that video. Anyone listening that's not in my chat, members and patrons get a video tonight. I just gotta fucking finish it. So
Yeah, so that brings us to the end of this politics AMA with Soypill. Thank you everybody for listening. If you're listening in the recording or if you were watching the stream, thank you. We are politics.gg. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right, cool. Toodaloo. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And any last minute questions from my beautiful chatters who want to ask me anything, go ahead. Because I'm sure there was some that I missed in the thingy. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me put my camera up. Doop, doop, doop. There it is. Cool. So I can ask one question. Go ahead, Snailium. What is up? Do you think the AfD will be banned in Germany or when in 2029? I have no idea what the projections are, but I hope they get banned. They're fucking disgusting ghouls. You got me. Your question was, can I ask one question? If you have a question, I'll answer it. Agnosticism is a real epistemological position. Some of us think we really should just second judgment. No, it is, but I'm saying, like, if you want to be atheist and like talk to people with a little non-bigoted language, you could say, yeah, you're agnostic, but also maybe you just don't know. You don't want to commit. Soypill is my hero. Thank you, Lost Cafe. Why'd you stream on this channel but the VODs are on the other? Because this is the channel where everyone is, and this is where it was monetized and where I have memberships, and then I can just upload the VODs there so it doesn't clutter people's feeds. That's kind of the idea. Over or under 6 inches? Over. For the record, I don't think agnosticism is cowardly, but I'm biased. It's not necessarily cowardly. It's cowardly if you are using it as a silencer for your true beliefs. The Skew asks, how much money would you need to accept the following curse? All dogs hate you and will try to kill you whenever they sense you. Fucking A. That would be one of those, like, any of these, like, how much money would you need? It's got to be like the, fuck you, I have as much money as I could possibly need to do anything I wanted, because that would require such a lifestyle change. I could not go out in public for the most part, on the off chance that I encounter a dog, big or small. I would have to live super insulated and not, like, do a lot of things in public where I might encounter a dog, so I'd need a lot of money to, like, be, like, in a big house with, like, no public people around. Yeah, that would have to be like, fuck you, infinite money, essentially. And not literally infinite, but in the same way, it's like, how much money would you need to chop off all your arms? And it's like, I'd have to have enough money to, like, justify, like, making everything else in life so good that I don't have arms and legs, which is basically infinite. What kind of music do you listen to? I listen to all kinds. Let's see. What's my latest Spotify ads? Let's see what my latest Spotify ads are. It is... Latest Spotify ads are God Is by Kanye West, because I got stuck in my head. I Wouldn't Mind because of that Nightcore song, the one that's like, how's it go? Like, merrily we fall out of line. That one. I got Nightcore stuck in my head. Rain on Me, the gay Lady Gaga gay anthem, and Homecoming by Kanye West. I guess I was in a Kanye West mood recently, so yeah. But it's all sorts. I like to get my religious friends to admit their texts are factually wrong. Hell yeah. What about UBS? Universal Basic Services. It's not because I don't trust people. I want people to have a universal floor, but I believe in positive freedoms. Okay, I see what you're saying. Based on, like, this is in contrast to kind of what you're saying in your question. My favorite part of the Nordic model, because of a Finn. What is your favorite part of the Nordic model? I just think the idea that, like, everyone has that safety net. Like, people don't just, like, starve in the street. Like, there's, like, something that keeps everyone at a certain level. That's that concept. There's nothing specific about it. You could live on a yacht. I don't want to live on a yacht. You should run a donation wheel for games on stream. We send you money and name the game. You spin the wheel and eliminate the games until the last one. Okay, what games? I had a donut question. Do you feel 2028 is the end of big MAGA fascism? That's the ultimate question. Is MAGA going to disappear after Trump goes the fuck away? I don't know. I think it's leaning more that way. As you can see, as he becomes weaker and less, like, pontificating and bloviating, it's becoming easier and easier to, like, subvert him, but it could come back. He could nominate a successor. There could be a Trump too, but I like to think that he's unique and it's not going to happen. Or there could be a Groyperism and that could get bigger. I don't know. I don't think I want to be an atheist. I want to be able to believe in mystical, mysterious things. Okay, buddy. Source. Opinion on Denham's likely winning the lawsuit against Ethan. Do you have a Denham's profile picture? I don't know much about it. I was briefly forced to look at it a couple nights ago, and it seems that she did not violate copyright law. And I think it's ridiculous that what Ethan was doing was like knowing that not everyone was violating the copyright, or more people were violating the copyright law. He specifically just went after people that he didn't like. Which seems like I'm rich, fuck you, I can do whatever I want. I think that's kind of fucked up because you don't really give a shit that people are stealing views from you, which theoretically could be bad. Like if someone said, hey, don't let this guy have money, I'm going to take your views, started playing the thing and like didn't transform the content, this would be bad. I don't think people should do this. However, I don't know if that's the case of this exactly how this happened. And even if it was, the fact that you don't really care about that, you just care that they did it with malice, like they don't like you. Fuck off, man. Like don't, this is like a silencing thing. Like if you go against me in any way, I'm going to, like use money to silence you, basically is what it seemed like. And I don't like that. But if you're stealing, like you're intentionally stealing, I guess intention doesn't necessarily matter. I'd have to look again what the 4 points of the copyright thing is. But yeah, if you're stealing content, like it's not good. You shouldn't do that. What do you think of PF Young? You should go watch my PF Young collab and you'll find out everything I think about PF Young. Will this stream be saved as a video? It will go onto the Soy Pill Streams VODs. Tell me your thoughts on socioeconomic factors of the world's paprika market. My thoughts are I've never thought about it in the world, and I never will. Where can I buy your propeller hat? If you just want this model, it's on Amazon and Packs of 4. If you want this hat, didn't realize I wasn't wearing it. For some reason, this just became a thing when Ash made the Ash tier and Patreon. But if you give me $100 a month at least once, I will literally mail you that hat, which I should probably wash because it's getting sweaty now. Thoughts on the Nordic model of sex work? I used to be much more open to the idea of like just let anyone do what they want, but it seems like this actually increases sex trafficking because it increases the demand for legal sex work, but also then the demand for illegal sex trafficking. So I think this doesn't really solve the issue of women being abused, and there needs to be a better solution. Would you do a president tier list? No, unless I was collabing with like Mr. Beat or some sort of historical person so that I could counter my ignorance with their historical knowledge. Briefly forced to look into, yeah. Briefly forced to look into. Indeed, I didn't want to. I don't care. Atheists when they listen to God is, despite saying God isn't real. I love gospel, guys. I love gospel choir. I love gospel rap. Doesn't mean I believe in God. I just, praising God sounds amazing, even if I disagree with it. I'm not so much of an atheist that I'd like be in the gospel choir like I was in college and be like, worship the Lord, who isn't real, and magnify his name, but he's not real. Did you see that China has started blockading Taiwan? Oh, shit. I didn't. I don't know what the implications of that are, but let's see. Very pro-Ethan on the lawsuit. I am not, so I don't know why you would be. I mean, I know why you would be, but I think this is just like a non-issue. Like, he doesn't lose a significant amount of money. He's just doing this in a way because he's spiteful, and this is not a good reason to try to go after people. I know I saw the clip of him, like, watching XQC literally do it to him. XQC admitting that he's like with intent, not transforming the content and just not giving a shit because he's like, well, you're not mean to me. It's like, okay, well then you don't really care that they're stealing content. You're just trying to find a way to get at them. And like, that shouldn't be how this is used, really. Have you heard about Avi Lewis? This sounds familiar. They're polling at 30% and almost 20% nationally. He's very Mondani-like. I'll have to ask JJ about him. You have my money. I have your money? I mean, if you go do it, if you are, I know I have at least one Ash tier person. If you do it, I'm sending you the hat. I'll sign it too. Do you think the Dems should stop trying to push a woman to the White House? No. Live and Learn should do the president tier list? I don't know. I don't know if we would be good at that. I don't know if we have the historical knowledge, but we should do more game shows type stuff. Holy Reddit, you goddamn right. Thoughts on the new 40K edition? I don't play 40K. All I know is orcs seem cool. What's my favorite Kanye album? Homecoming, obviously. Favorite rapper? Probably Chance, just because I like gospel rap, but I don't know. I don't know how I have a favorite rapper. Do you think Trump's gas prices will beat Biden's high? I don't know. Depends on what happens with Iran. Probably not. No, not probably not. I have no idea. I can't speak on that. No idea. That's the answer. Christian nationalism is the worst. Agreed. JJ hates the NDP. I'm sure he does. Preemptive 1 because me go to sleep. Yeah, I'm about to stop right now. My bad if I cringed people out with my r/atheist question. Hell no. We love r/atheism. Chance is fire. All right, guys. That is it. It's been 3 hours. I am going to go finish the video. It's first draft done. I need to do the ladders. I've already picked the ladder. I need to do the Patreon shout outs. I need to go through and make sure it's not dog shit because I want to give you guys quality content. And I'm going to release in the next 4 hours the patron and members version. which, you get early if you're a patron or member. And then the free version should come soon after that, 24 or fewer hours. So thank you for tuning in. This will be on the VODs. I love you all. Have a good weekend. Type 1 to the deep state, and good night.